Scotland's a wild and lovely place.
But there's a change we must embrace.
Scotland's water's world class.
No doubt.
So, take a refillable bottle.
When you go out.
It's your water, your life.
Top up from the tap with Scottish Water.
Fresh, cool, clear.
And only available right here.
Very good afternoon to you on this Easter Day afternoon. I hope you've had a good morning. I hope you're enjoying the coverage of the 15s, 16s, 17s, 18s this morning. We've got a busy program here with the 11 to 13s and the 14-year-olds this afternoon. I'm Duncan McKinnell, and joining me in the commentary box once again is Lynn Alderton. So very good afternoon to you, Lynn.
Happy to be here. Looking forward to it. Good session ahead.
Yep, so could be another good one. Busy program we've got here. 200 individual medley gets us going with the boys. Then the girls 200 freestyle. So some good 200s to be had there. Then we go down to the hundreds. Freestyle for the boys. Breaststroke for the girls. Down again to the 50s. Backstroke and butterfly. And 800 freestyle. And then we finish off with a freestyle relay for the girls and a medley relay for the boys. So we've got some of the stars who have been performing so well through these championships. Look out for the likes of Dean Fern and Yuan Weir. They'll be side by side in the 200 individual medley in the last heat. Gregor Ross of City of Glasgow, Ross Anderton, Josh Elliott as well of Hearts. They've all been up there. In the girls 200 freestyle, Phoebe Arbuckle has been very strong, and she was really good in the relay this morning, wasn't she, for Warrender? We had the 14 to 16 years relay, so Phoebe, as the 14-year-old, was involved with that one. And she'll be going in the individual 200 freestyle this afternoon. Lunchtime at 2:12, trying to add to her distance freestyle gold medals. Then in the 100 freestyle, we've got Dean Fern back again. Jensen Norris of Perth has been going well, and Lewis Gibson of North Ayrshire. 100 breaststroke for the girls. It's great to have some of the swimmers from south of the border, and Niamh Savory has been a real strong performer throughout, and she is in the mix, I would think, for this 100 breaststroke in the 14-year-old age group. Sarah Kravis, of course, has been very, very strong in the 13 age group. She'll be strong in that one as well. In the sprint, what's that man, Dean Fern again, potentially. The boys one, and the girls, Kiana Kurtzer will be very strong, you would think. Although you usually think of her maybe more in longer distance than the 50, but we'll see how she does. We've got the 800s after that. Here is Oscar Chensai going into that with the fastest entry time, just a bit ahead of Yuan Weir, we talked about already, from Dundee City Aquatics. Then finishing off with the relays, so we saw East Lothian win the girls' relay, medley relay last night, so they'll be looking for the double. And Warrender in the boys' one will wrap up the afternoon session. So, Lynn, give us your thoughts about that one.
I wasn't concentrating there at all, Duncan. Just trying to sort out a few electronic problems that we've got. There are issues, not those with the event at all, but you can see the officials just marching out onto the pool side there. It's been a really long haul for them as well. It's not just for the swimmers. Really, really busy sessions. Scottish Swimming putting in as many swims as they could possibly. Still, unfortunately, not everybody getting in, especially in those morning sessions. Everybody in for the afternoon sessions, working really nicely there. I'm looking forward to these events this afternoon. So we've got 200 metres individual medley coming up first. And we have got 5 heats here in the afternoon of the 200 metres individual medley. And they're just doing the health and safety announcement here on the pool side. But it's one of the things that's been really nice about this meet, Duncan, is to have the spectators back. It's quite a full gallery over on the spectator side here at Tollcross. Nice big gallery, so people can still give people space. Face coverings only to be coming off tomorrow, according to Scottish Government guidelines. But lots of spectators over on the far side, giving a much better atmosphere. And we've had a really good atmosphere at this meet, haven't we?
Yes, we have indeed, and it's it's been really good, and it is lovely to see spectators back, and quite a full gallery this afternoon. So obviously the weekend, holiday weekend. So what better way to spend it than to watch your children swim? And people have had precious little opportunity to do that over the last couple of years. So that's great. So it will be 200 individual medley up first. We're not quite ready to go yet. The swimmer's not out yet for that first heat. You can see the lineup there. The entry times for the first heat are all around the 2:53 mark. We'll go all the way down to the 2:20s. I think by the time we're done, might even sneak into the 2:19s. Maybe, I don't know. That may be a bit of a stretch in the heats, because we've got heats and finals all the way through until we get to the 800. That will be heat declared winner event, and we'll have the presentations for that 800 and for the relays at the end of this afternoon session. And then after that, it'll just be the one more session, and we will be done.
Yeah. Sorry, I was going to say it's quite exciting. I think you're not being ambitious enough. I'd like to see us going down into the 2:19s in this 200 metres individual medley. Dean Fern has been putting in some really seriously fast performances, and he's been doing that in the morning as well as in the evening. And I think it was it?
We're not hearing each other. We're not hearing each other.
Was it Liam Tankoko used to say that I can't swim a 200, but I can put a fast 450s together. And Dean, well, he does like those short distances, but he's been swimming well over the 100 and the 200 as well. So first heat up then. Sharply off the blocks there, George Siebenevsky from Stranraer in the orange hat in lane 6. Alongside him, Cameron Beck in Verclyde in the white cap. And he's moving through there quickly into the lead. The Inverclyde swimmer. All right, we sorted out our technical issues. Duncan, that's much better, isn't it?
Yeah, we could hear each other now, so if we've been talking at cross purposes, apologise about that. But away we go then, lane 5, setting off at good pace there, Cameron Beck.
Yeah, Cameron Beck, Inverclyde swimmer in the white cap in 5, and alongside him his teammate Scott Brodie, and he's in the faster seeded lanes. Lewis Maxwell Pavels looking good here on the backstroke, coming through for Warrington Bath Club in lane 3, red cap. Moving up alongside our early leader Cameron Beck, and moving past him through on the backstroke. See what the breaststroke leg's like, so often the deciding leg in the individual medley. So really nothing in it on the entry times to give us a clue as to where the lead's going to go. So all to play for these young swimmers, 12 and 13-year-olds, so all swimming in the 11 to 13-year age group. Adam Calder just in the 12, so born in 2010. It seems pretty unbelievable, doesn't it? 2010, Adam Calder for Broch, and swimming strongly on the breaststroke. I might have thought that the Inverclyde swimmers would come through on the breaststroke, and they're just starting to make a move now. But Lewis Maxwell Pavels, that backstroke, that's strong there. He had his advantage was about a second and a half. They're clawing back that lead, and Cameron Beck, George Siebenevsky is doing their neck and neck, just coming in towards the final turn. Lewis Maxwell Pavels just holding on to that lead. So see who's got what they've got left on the freestyle leg. 2:11.27, so that lead of a second and a half, now just a quarter of a second or so.
Yep, so certainly it was a bit of a change in the breaststroke, but Lewis still holding the advantage. What is it about Inverclyde and breaststroke? There's certainly something going on down on the Clyde coast. But Lewis, I think, is going to be able to get this job done. His entry time is 2:53.28. You can see the clock in there, low 240s here. So this is going to be a nice PB to get us started. Coming in 2:48.28, so 5 seconds inside his entry time. Just 100. Oh, in fact, look at that. I assumed it was going to be Lewis Maxwell pulls, but Cameron Beck. How did he do that?
Quick finish?
I think that was a bit.
Long arms, maybe.
Anyway, he got it by 100th. Well done, Cameron. And good PB from him as well. So both those boys off to really good starts.
Yeah, so Heat 2 just up on the blocks there in lane 0. Sky Chai from Aberdeen Performance in 1. Adam Merrick, North Lanarkshire Swim Team. In 2, Stepan Nachuk from Stranraer. In 3, Aaron Drake, Warrington Baths. In lane 4, Finley Bennett, South Lanarkshire. 5, Callum Mackenzie, Perth City. In 6, Dexter Suter, Lerwick. 7, Kenneth Trainer, South Lanarkshire. In lane 8, Kai Fern, Aberdeen Dolphins. And in 9, Lachlan Hannay, Dumfries. Good start in 5 there, Duncan, Callum Mackenzie, Red Cap Perth City. They've been having a really good meet.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about Callum Mackenzie. He was 4th in North District age groups, but other than that, don't know too much about him. Also going very well in lane 1, but not registering on the scoreboard there. Adam Merrick of North Lanarkshire. But he's just a little bit behind Callum now. Again, all in the 12-13 age group in this heat. So last one before we go into the cycle-seeded heats. They're coming down. And it is very much the Perth man now. He's up by about 3-4 meters, 1:13.81, so around about 4 seconds faster than the first heat.
Yeah, it's very noticeable, the difference in the number of heats between the morning swims and the afternoon. We had 10 heats of this morning, and in fact of the 200 metres freestyle. There is fewer age groups in the afternoon, but I think we're seeing here, we'll see later on as well, that the swimmers have got their swims quite closely chunked up together, and some of the swimmers performing quite a few events, so really having to put together some fast races with not that much rest in between. They're quite young still. I mean, all of the swimmers in this heat are in the 13-year age group, so they are very often able to put together back-to-back fast swims, but tough call for them really. The older swimmers in the morning do need a longer rest. And they probably do fewer events, although there are exceptions to that. We've seen some of them entering in just about everything. Still Perth swimmer though, Callum Mackenzie, 2:06.04 he was with 50 metres to go. And he put in a reasonably strong breaststroke leg. I suspect, looking at him striding away there on the freestyle, that that's not his forte. But he's looking very comfortable out in front now, 3-4 metres his lead. Perhaps in second place, just moving through there. And the Stranraer cap, Stepan Nachuk. But tightening up behind our leader. No doubt he's going to get that one though. So Callum Mackenzie coming through to take that 2:42.14. So 5 seconds inside his entry time. In second place it was Stepan Sova in lane 2, and third home that's Aaron Drake.
Yep, just 300ths in it at the end there between second and third. And Stefan's just holding on. I thought he was going to be gobbled up down that freestyle length, but no, he really showed a lot of guts, I think, to hang on to that second place. So well done, Stephens. Aaron Drake just behind him. So into the cycle-seeded heats now. Just waiting for confirmation of that last one. And then we'll be on to heat number 3. Go through the lineup while we wait for heat 3. James Kilpatrick will go for Carnegie in 0. Owen Bicken of South Aberdeenshire in 1. Fraser Cowie of North Ayrshire in 2. Jensen Norris of Perth City in 3. Josh Elliott of Heart of Midlothian in 4. Watch out for him in the breaststroke. 5 is Kenzie McLean. 6, Oscar Chensai. Ethan Collins in 7. Kyle Connolly in 8. Fraser Dow in 9. And you're seeing on your screen there, unfortunately, we had a disqualification there. Stepan Stastich, unfortunately, disqualified. He had finished second, so that's unlucky for him. No doubt get feedback on what the problem was, and we'll take that back to Stranraer to sort it out. So off we go with heat 3. Josh Elliott, I think he will come to the fore in the breaststroke, really strong breaststroker. It's a gold and silver for him so far in that event. Maybe it might even be 2 golds and a silver But lane 5, it is Kenzie McLean of Perth. So Perth making an early impact after that excellent swim from Callum Mackenzie in the second heat. But Fraser Cowie, in fact, has the early advantage. North Ayrshire swimmer out of lane 2. 30.73 for him.
Yeah, Kenzie was the bronze medal winner in the 400 metres individual medley. But as you say, Josh Elliott, we're expecting to come through strongly on the breaststroke. Winner of the gold medal, in fact, it was the 100 and the 200. But he's the East District Age Group champion in this event as well. So he's not got. It's not like he's only a breaststroker. He's clearly put in a good individual medley as well. But in second place just now in lane 3 and coming through actually really strongly on that backstroke in lane 2, Fraser Cowie from North Ayrshire.
So a 108.95 up by a couple of tenths, Fraser Cowie. And now you can start to see Josh Elliott in the white and maroon of Hearts making his way up the pool. He's already gone past Fraser, who clearly is not the strongest of breaststrokers, but still got some work to do to catch Kenzie here. It's becoming clear it's going to be these two. And of course, they're likely both to qualify, both in the 14-year-old age group, and the gap is narrowing. But it will still, I think, be Kenzie at the 150 with the advantage, and that's about half a second. 151.67 against 152.12.
Yeah, so Fraser Cowie from North Ayrshire is now in third place and quite a long way back. They've really made inroads over the rest of the field, the two centre lanes. Swimming through strongly in 6 now. We've got Oscar Chensai from Geary out in front. Still Kenzie McLean. So that challenge from Josh Elliott was a good one on the breaststroke, but it wasn't enough to take this heat, and it's going to be our leader right from the beginning, Kenzie McLean, Perth City, 2:25.26 for him. So that's a small improvement on the entry time that he did when he won the East District age groups. So just inside that, and that was not that long ago.
Yeah, so Kenzie, there was, in fact, don't think we were able to grab him for the East District, for East District age groups, Perth City man, unless Perth's moved into the East when I wasn't looking.
No.
Kenzie then taking it by 3 seconds in the end with a very solid back end to that 200 IM. So it'll be interesting to see how he does tonight. The lineup for heat number 4, Aaron Machin, City of Glasgow in 0. Sam Cool goes in 1 from Stetrock. Archie MacArthur of Inverclyde in 2. Eamon Charidi of Royal Wolverhampton School in 3. Gregor Ross of City of Glasgow in 4. Ross Anderton of East Lothian in 5. Toby Bullock of Mid Lothian in 6. Connor Christophorus of Aberdeen Dolphin in 7. Yuan Watson of Renfrew Baths in 8. And Tom Massey, Afford Otters in lane 9.
Yeah, lane 5 taking it out again. Ross Anderton this time from East Lothian. We've had lots of chats, haven't we, about the performances of East Lothian at this competition. So Ross Anderton there, 29.67, touching first after 50 metres of butterfly. So after talking drivel in the in the previous heat, we hopefully get this one just a bit better. Well, it was only me, wasn't it? 2:28.4, Ross Anderton, swimmer from East Lothian at 50 metres.
Yeah, he is a very strong fly swimmer, Ross, and so he is going to come under pressure, I think, in the remainder of this race. And you can see there we've got 3 fairly close together, and now it is lane 3. Eamon Charidi, who leads. Oh no, Gregor Ross getting the touch there. Didn't think that was going to happen, but it did. 1:08.29 for Gregor, 1:08.37 for Eamon.
Yes,
just the way they did the turns, I guess.
Well, Gregor not just getting the touch, but having a really strong and quick turn coming out there. Although it was only by a smidgen, he's now well ahead on the breaststroke and moving really strongly through. Fastest entry into this heat, and it's a seeded heat, so we would expect him to be out in front. But opening up quite a margin through the breaststroke leg, and looking very comfortable as well. Gregor Ross, a silver medal winner actually, behind Josh Elliott, who we saw in the previous heat. So Gregor silver in the 100 and 200 breaststroke, and really using that strong breaststroke to open out quite a lead, 10 metres or so his advantage just coming down through on the freestyle. Entered on 2:25.40.
Yeah, I think he'd be inside that. It was 2 seconds faster than Kenzie was at the 150. He's looking pretty solid on the freestyle as well, although Kenzie did do a very fast freestyle. So see if he can get inside that 2:25. I think he will. Let's see what he stops the clock at. 2:24.23.
And fast last 50 from Toby Bullock there from Midlothian. And Chrono Christophorus too.
Just 100th faster than Ross Anderson in the end. So that top 4, I think, all in the 14 age group. Let's just look at some of the 13-year-olds then. Archie there in lane 2, I think it was. So 2:34 for him, so nice swim there. We do have 3 13-year-olds coming in this final heat. At 2:24.23, that's the time to beat for the 14-year-olds.
Right, so in our final heat we have Finch Geary from Steprock. In 0 in 1, Daniel Hendry, City of Glasgow. 2, Aidan Bruce, Aberdeen. In lane 3, Lewis Gibson, North Ayrshire. Lane 4, Dean Fern, Aberdeen Dolphins. In 5, Yuan Weir, Dundee City Aquatics. In lane 6, Cameron Hastings, Aberdeen Performance. In 7, Dylan Mitchell, Warrington Baths Club. Lane 8, Daniel Hay from West Lothian. And in lane 9, Archie Lorimer from Clitheroe. And what a start there from Dean Fern, Aberdeen Dolphins. So Dean, the winner of the 50 fly, and he was not far off Mark Shiranik's age group record in there. Really, really strong butterfly for a 14-year-old.
Yeah, the fastest in the previous heats, 29.67, so to go on a 28 dead, I mean, just turning this one upside down, really. And I guess you talk about arrowheads, that's a classic arrowhead we're seeing on the screen here, but it's got a pretty sharp point with Dean Fern at the front, so I didn't want to be hit by this arrow, I don't think. Coming up nicely, though, in lane 5 on the backstroke, and that is Yuan Weir of Dundee City Aquatics. And see him in the pink cap there on the left of your screen as they come to the backstroke, breaststroke turn.
Yeah, Ewan, the winner of the 50 breaststroke, so we can expect to see him making some inroads on Dean Fern, perhaps. Although Dean Fern's not a bad breaststroker either, it's just that he's so strong on the others. But like I say, Ewan Weir, gold medalist actually on the 50 metres breaststroke, and starting to make a bit of an inroad into that lead. I mean, on his entry time, he's 5 seconds behind Dean Fern. But you have to do it in the race, don't you, to get to that centre lane for the final this evening. How are the 13-year-olds coming on? Can you see?
So I think it's Dylan Mitchell looked to be going quite well in lane 7. We haven't got a shot of him at the moment. We'll see him in a moment for sure, but you can see it is tightening up. Dean just ahead of Yuan, so just a second in it now. 1:50.34 is a little bit slower, in fact, than we saw from Gregor Ross, but I would think Dean will make that up in the freestyle if he wants to, that is. Two of them going at it fairly hard. It does look like Dean. Oh, now look at him go. Wow, that was just like moving from 3rd to 4th gear, wasn't it? I mean, so all of a sudden, you saw the outboard motor kick in, and he said, no, I don't think I want you to beat me. You're not going past. Oh, and then a gentle ease into the wall. Oh, Dean is playing a few weak games there. 2:23.71. There is the final result of all of those shenanigans.
Yeah, that was a really interesting turn of pace there. He had a good look over at Yuan Weir just at the turn, had a good look to see where he was, saw he was just behind him, and then just lolloped down the first 25 of that last 50. And as you say, turned up the gear just with 20 metres to go or something, and turned the burners on to take the win.
Yeah, and then it's the way he turned them off again with about 3 metres to go. So, right, job done. I'll just glide in now. But there's the result, 2:23.71. I think he'll be quite a bit faster than that tonight. Yuan Weir, 2:24. So good swims from him. We'll see if there are any of the 13-year-olds in the top 10 when we scroll through the results from the 5 heats. Oh, we're not going to do that. We're going straight to the 200 freestyle.
Well, perhaps a bit of a tight session this afternoon then, as Obviously we have 800 freestyles as well, and we've got some relays at the end, so it might be a bit of a busy session. So next up we have the 200 meters freestyle for girls aged 11 to 14 years. And in our first heat we have just the 4 swimmers. In lane 3, Ava Ross, City of Glasgow, and 4, Lucy Fleming, East Lothian. Lane 5, Beth Kelly, Warren de Bath Club, and in lane 6, Kira Findlayson, City of Glasgow.
We'll start from Kira in lane 6. She is setting off the other 3 fairly much in a line, but Kira Finlayson, 3rd in the West District Pre-Stags meet, is setting the pace early on. Let's see what her time is at the 50. 33.33. I think she'll be able to remember that split. Lucy Fleming, East District age group champion, that was an 11-12 age group, is just in 2nd place ahead of lane 3 Ava Ross, and for that matter Beth Kelly in lane 5. She's pretty much there with Ava, a metre or so behind Lucy, and she's probably 2 metres behind Kira.
Yeah, Kira Finlayson really taking this one out. I mean, her entry time's 2:32.50, so to be turning at halfway in 1:11.43 is a very ambitious start.
Yeah, we'll see whether she can keep this one going. So her last split pretty much on a 38. So another one of those would be around about the 150 mark, 149, 150. Lucy Fleming just edging away from the other 2, and Beth Kelly just trying to go with her, but in fact I think she is going with her now. She is clawing that lead back, but still it is Kira. So a little bit slower on that 50, 152.25. So that was 41 nearly.
Yeah, but she's kicking for home now, and the other 3 girls all in a line. Different race tactics perhaps, but Kira Finlayson having done the work over the first 100, and she's now showing them a fairly clean pair of heels as she just comes in towards the final 15. Best of the rest at the moment, Beth Kelly, Warren de Bath Club, I think, and as I say that, moving alongside her, Lucy Fleming from East Lothian, moving through, and it's going to be really close at the finish. Kira Finlayson going to take this one. They are catching her, but she's not going to be caught. 2:32.31, so only just inside her entry time in the end. Beth Kelly just getting the better of Lucy Fleming in that race for 2nd place in that heat.
Yes, so around about a 40-second final 50 for Kira, so that very fast 33 for her first 50, perhaps got to her in the latter stage of that race, but still got the win, got inside her entry time, so that's all good stuff.
Yeah, just checking through the results there from the 200 metres individual medley. I think we had a tie and potentially a swim-off, didn't we, this morning? And we have a tie and potentially a swim-off this afternoon. But we'll wait to see what the referees have got to say about that. Fastest through in the 13-year-olds, it was Dylan Mitchell from Warren de Bath, but it's really quite close at the front there.
So the line-up for Heat 2 of the girls 200 freestyle, we've got Kirsty Seaverite in lane 0 for East Lothian, Katie Cooper of Warrender in 1, Chloe Semple of South Lanarkshire in 2, Madison Stewart of Aberdeen Performance in 3, Ava Marco of East Lothian in 4, Chloe Kirk of Mulgoyan Bearsden in 5, Isla Luke, 3rd East Lothian swimmer, goes in lane 6, Eva Smith, she's had a good week. She goes for Aberdeen Performance in 7. Emily McDougall of Highland in 8. Isla Petrie of Monifeith in lane 9. Ava Marco. Don't know that I've had too much to say about her over the 4 days that we've had, but she's got a cracking start here.
Yeah, really strong start from Ava. I mean, right from the blocks as well. Entry time's really all much of a muchness between these girls, and they are starting to catch her now. But I mean, she really set off with a really strong pace. Just a question of whether or not she can hold on to that or accelerate away. But alongside her in lane 5, that's Chloe Kirk, Muldown Bearsden swimmer, and she is catching. Ava Marco, I think, has seen the danger. and has just turned up that kick on just a little bit as she's going down this towards the turn end.
4 swimmers contesting third. Madison Stewart in 3, and then closer to the camera as Isla Luke, Eva Smith and Emily McDougall. But they're not really making inroads on the leading 2, but somebody who is making inroads is Chloe Kirk, and she now has the lead at the 150. 147.21 against Ava's 148.31. I wonder if Ava can reproduce some of that speed from the first 50. I think the answer is probably not.
No, Chloe Kirk second in the West District age groups, and now storming away. And I think that Ava Marco, I think she's done enough to hold on to second place, but she's having to work really hard now, and the girls are closing on her. University of Aberdeen swimmer Eva Smith putting in a really strong last 50, and I think that poor old Ava, our early leader, is going to get caught and passed by more than one swimmer even. So she's desperately trying to hang on, but second place, a different Aberdeen performance swimmer actually getting that one, Madison Stewart. Her time 2:28.77. Eva Smith in third, 2:29.34. But the winner, Chloe Kirk, 2:24.32, and a really nicely paced race for her.
Yeah, that was very good from Chloe. Just didn't panic when Ava Marco went off like a train at the beginning. And well, for Ava, I think it will be a learning experience, and she won't have enjoyed that last 50 meters, I don't think. But 2:30.02 for her is pretty close to her entry time, and she'll get, I think, lots of learnings from that to take to future competitions.
So heat 3 now up on the blocks. In lane 0, Alice Perry, Warren de Bath. In lane 1, Sophie Allison, West Dunbartonshire. Lane 2, Alice Cummings, City of Glasgow. In 3, Addison Cole, South Lanarkshire. In lane 4, Coco Croxford, City of Glasgow. 5, Madison Cool, Bucky. Lane 6, Sydney Boyd, Mid Lothian. In 7, Madeleine Patterson, City of Glasgow. 8, Penny Worthy, Portsmouth North Sea. And in lane 9, Ellie Wilson, Step Rock. There's 2 girls in the centre lane. Coco Croxford, I think she's already been on the top of the podium a couple of times. We've seen Madison Cool. I don't think she's topped the podium yet, but she's certainly appeared there, and it's Madison Cool just taking it out. Just that little bit faster down at the first 50, 30.87 for her after 50 metres. Coco Croxford just 0.2 of a second behind, and Addison Cole, South Lanarkshire swimmer, in third place after 50. Between the 2 in the centre lanes, I don't think these have gone out too quickly though, Duncan. Coco Croxford looking pretty comfortable in front, and she won the 200 fly. So I suspect there's some endurance there. Coco Croxford, City of Glasgow swimmer in lane 4, fastest entry into this heat, 2:19.68, and turning in halfway 1:06.03.
Yeah, winner in the West District Pre-Stags meet, where she did her entry time of 2:19.68, and after a fairly tight first 50 between her and Madison, it looks like she's in control now. Madison fairly clear, well clear of the third place contest. That looks like lane 1 at the moment. Sophie Allison going for Western Berkshire in lane 1, and just behind her in lane 2, Alice Cumming of City of Glasgow, but it is her teammate Coco Croxford with 50 to go, 1:41.53, so that's about a 35.5 there.
Yeah, 35.5. Closest to that split is the swimmers over on the far side rather than Madison Cool. But even there, a second behind, and Coco Croxford extending her lead as she comes into final 25. I think just moving through into second place there, Sophie Allison, West Dunbartonshire. She's paced that one nicely, just coming through in the second half. Madison Cool set off very strongly, and she's bringing this one home pretty well, but just overtaken there, and she's going to have to settle for third in this heat. Coco Croxford wins that one, 2:17.9, so an improvement, almost 2 seconds on her entry time. Sophie Allison there in second place, so she's improved 5 seconds on her entry time. That's a really impressive heat swim.
Yep, they'll be happy about that in the West Dunbartonshire stable. 2 more heats. Once we see the confirmed result of that one. And there you have it. Coco Croxford, Sophie Allison, Madison Cool. Heat number 4. Riley McIntosh goes for Dundee City Aquatics in 0. Mirren McConnell of Inverclyde in 1. Kristen Mckay of Warrender in 2. Mirren Gibbeston in 3. Freya Beaton of City of Glasgow in 4, Layla Weatherspoon of Hartwood Lothian in 5, Kate Nolan of Warrender in 6, Ali Kennedy of City of Glasgow in 7, and then 2 East Lothian 13-year-olds, Isla Wetton in 8 and Lucy Hall in 9. Kate Nolan also and Riley McIntosh also in the 13 age group. So we'll keep an eye on them as well as our top 14-year-olds. And it's the City of Glasgow swimmer in lane 7, Ellie Kennedy, who is fastest away here.
Yeah, it was a strong start in lane 0 from the Dundee City Aquatic swimmer Riley McIntosh, but just losing out there down that first 50 to the City of Glasgow swimmer, although it's very close. They've seen the swimmers perhaps in lane 5 now. Layla Weatherspoon just starting to move through alongside Freya Beaton, City of Glasgow, and it's well, I don't know.
Plenty of them is basically the answer. 5 of them, I think, up in that front group. Lane 0, lane 2, lane 3, lane 4, lane 7, all there.
Yeah, considering it's a cyclically seeded heat, surprisingly close. So could go anywhere at all, but Riley McIntosh, it was in lane 0. Good start for her, and then not quite so strong down the second length. But there she is. Oh, and look at that, moving through in lane 4, Freya Beaton, City of Glasgow swimmer. She's swimming in the 14-year age group. Have we seen much of Freya? Yes, we have. Yes, she's been the bronze medalist in the 100 free, the 400 free, the 800 free and the 1500 free.
So can she break that and move up the podium? Let's see. 142.15 is not quite as fast as Coco Croxford, her teammate. She was about 0.6 faster at the 150, but certainly looks like she's got this under control. Lane 2 is Kristen Mckay of Warrender, as we've just focused in there on the hard-working Freya Beaton.
Yeah, lovely swimming shot there of Freya Beaton, just coming in towards the end of the 200. Can't decide if it's going to be between the City of Glasgow swimmer. I think it's going to be her teammate Ellie Kennedy that touches second, or is she just touched out there, I think, by Kristen Mckay from Warrender Bath Club in lane 2, and Ellie Kennedy having to settle for 3rd place, although just 0.2 the difference.
So in that one, Kate Nolan, 2:23.48 there, the fastest of the 13-year-olds, a Warrender swimmer. She's had a good meet. And that was an impressive last 50 from Freya, because she went into it around about 0.6 behind Coco Croxford's time, and she came out of it a second ahead of it. So nice, strong finish from her. She'll be hoping to replicate that tonight.
Yes, and she's going to have to go some. Phoebe Arbuckle has been we spoke about Freya being the bronze medalist. Phoebe Arbuckle, swimming in this heat, has been the gold medalist in so many of those events, the 4, the 8 and the 15, although finishing second to Kiana Kurtzer in the 100.
So no Kiana Kurtzer in this one though, so we'll see how this works out. We've got Rosie Heaps of Foldhouse in 0, Ellen Denny of Geary in 1, Phoebe Sampson, Dundee City Aquatics in 2, Molly Irvin Watson of Stranraer in 3, Phoebe Arbuckle of Warrender in 4, Melissa Menny of City of Glasgow in 5, Kari Preacher of Lerwick in 6, Jessica Kirkwood of Aberdeen Performance in 7, also from Aberdeen Performances, Emmy Aitken in lane 8, and Gina Wren goes for City of Glasgow in lane 9. And no surprise really to see Phoebe Arbuckle, just recently brought into the Scottish junior team. She's settled in all of those gold medals so far, East District age group champion in this event. Beside her in lane 3 is the Stranraer swimmer Molly Irvin Watson, just not too far back, half a metre maybe. 1:07.61 then is Phoebe's time, so that is faster than Freya Beaton's, but not as fast as Coco Croxford at the halfway point.
Yeah, we saw that fast final 50 though from Freya Beaton, didn't we, in that heat. But Phoebe Arbuckle, she's only a body length clear of in second place Molly Irvin Watson. On entry times, that's a bit deceptive because there's 9 seconds the difference in theory. But of course, Molly Irvin Watson vying for a place in the 13-year-old final. whereas Phoebe Arbuckle and most of the swimmers in the water are actually in the 14-year finals. So let's say finals this evening. But Phoebe Arbuckle there, obviously swimming within herself during that first 100, pacing her race really well. Can't blame Molly Irvine-Watson for giving it a go and keeping up with her during that first 100. And she's actually doing a nice job bringing it home, but Phoebe Arbuckle accelerating towards the end. So entry time 2:12.80, perhaps reserving that for the final this evening. I think she's going to come through. She's maybe even not going to qualify in first place, but she will be in a centre lane. 2:18.48 for Phoebe Arbuckle taking that one. Carrie Preacher came through quickly at the end. 2:22.33. Carrie, one of the island swimmers from Lerwick. Molly Irvine-Watson finishing in third place, 2:22.79.
So will that make her the fastest 13-year-old qualifier? I think it might.
I think it does.
What's she done so far in terms of podium places? Molly been on the podium?
It's certainly a name I've seen in finals, I'm sure, but it's yeah, Molly Irvine-Watson. So she was the bronze medal winner in the 50 and the 100 free. Perhaps not quite long enough for her.
Yep, so it'll be interesting to see how she gets on, see if she can pick up a first gold medal of these championships tonight. And it should be a good race in the 14-year-olds there. Those three are going to be pretty well matched, I think. Phoebe, Freya and Coco. I'm looking forward to that one tonight.
Yeah, and very close as well at the top end of the 13-year-olds as well. Molly Irvine-Watson, as you suggested, fastest through on a high 2:22, but there's behind her there's three girls all swum 2:23 something. So Kate Nolan, Emmy Aitken, Riley McIntosh. Could be a really good race this evening.
So on to the boys. Quickly back. And we've got 9 heats of 100 freestyle. 4 go in the first heat. There they all are. 2 red caps. Brock's Adam Calder goes in 3. And Perth's Finley Bruce in lane 4. In 5, Kenneth Traynor of South Lanarkshire and Cole Murphy of City of Glasgow are the 2 in blue caps. So red versus blue. All 4 different teams. So the times here all in the 1:10, so could be close, although not if Finley Bruce can help it. He is straight off into the lead. 1:10.13 does have the fastest end time. The 2 boys in blue trying to chase him, Kenneth Traynor and Cole Murphy, but you can see there that Finley is best part of a body length up as we come to halfway. Splits in 31.5. Up by a second. Kenneth second, Cole third. Adam half a second back in 4th. Don't see anyone catching Finley now, Lynn.
No, and we've spoken about the energy that swimmers can take from their team doing well, and Perth having an outstanding championships, and Finley Bruce went in there very confidently, set off as though he was going to be the winner right from the very beginning. He is having to hang on at the end here, I think, but he is going to take this first heat. 1:10 his entry time, and he's going to be well under that. 1:07.76. That's a cracking improvement, and it was tiring towards the end, I think, Finley Bruce, but he had enough to win that one. Second place, Kenneth Traynor, South Lanarkshire swimming, and in third it was Cole Murphy, City of Glasgow. So the entry times are all on 1:10, and they're all inside that now, so I'm sure they'll be pleased.
Nice job to all 4 of them.
Heat 2 then. In lane 0, and Lachlan Hannay from Dumfries. In 1, Fergus Reid Geary. 2, Fraser Muir Carnegie. In lane 3, Callum Mackenzie, Perth City. In lane 4, Alfred Storer, South Aberdeenshire. In 5, Adam Merrick, North Lanarkshire swim team. 6, Sky Cowbunchai from Aberdeen Performance. In 7, Harris Woodward, Portobello. In lane 8, Cameron Beck, Inverclyde. And in lane 9, Adam Selby, Finns.
It's all in the 12-13 age group. A few 12-year-olds going in this, which is nice to see. Strong start from the Portobello swimmer, Harris Woodward. He's been going well all week. And also up there in lane 3, Callum Mackenzie, another Perth swimmer. They're going to turn pretty much together. Callum just getting the touch, 30.53, a second faster than his teammate Finley in the previous heat. Harris 30.98, Cameron Beck in third. And it does look like we're going to have back-to-back Perth wins here.
Yeah, accelerating into the final 25, Callum Mackenzie looking pretty confident out in front, but the Portobello swimmer you mentioned earlier, Harris Woodward, he's not giving up now, and it's I think it is going to be the red cap. It's Perth City again, like you say, back-to-back, Callum Mackenzie, 109 his entry time, 104.78, that's an astonishing improvement. So 104.78 for Callum Mackenzie, Harris Woodward in the second, 105.8. Alfred Storer in the centre lane there from South Aberdeenshire, finishing in third in 107.36.
Some great times there, great improvements on their entry times, particularly from Callum, but also from some of the others, Harris in particular. So very well done, guys.
Yeah, I mean, we've got quite a lot of heats of this event, so but it is going to be the 14-year-olds towards the end of it. We've still got a lot of 13-year-old swimmers to go, but quite a long time before we hit entry times of 104. So heat number 3. In lane 0, Yuan Nielsen, North Lanarkshire swim team. In 1, Stepan Nachuk from Stranraer. Lane 2, Matthew Piatek from Aberdeen Performance. In 3, Kyle Mossman from City of Glasgow. Kyle, a birthday boy today, so 13 years old today, Kyle Mossman, happy birthday. In lane 4, Lewis Lothian, East Lothian. In 5, Kyle Harper, South Ayrshire. Lane 6, Fraser Gemmell from first. In 7, Dexter Suter, Lerwick. Lane 8, Nebi Singular from Highland Swim Team. And in lane 9, Lewis Maxwell Powell's Warrender Bath Club. Storming down there. In lane 5, Kyle Harper, South Ayrshire. First, 29.64 at the halfway mark, off an entry time of 106.77.
Yeah, he's looking really strong here. And again, we'll see whether he can sustain it. Lewis Lothian leading the swimmers behind him, but I don't think he's making too much impact on this lead. Maybe he is a little bit, but it's certainly surely going to be Kyle Harper bringing this one in. He did his time at the West District Free Snacks, 106.77. He's going to improve on that, 104.66, so slightly faster than the previous heat. Just again tying up somewhat in the latter stages, but still a very good win, very good improvement. Ditto for Lewis Lothian in second place, nicely inside his entry time. Oh, in fact, Kyle Harper disqualification, so that's a shame. Must have just been too sharp off the blocks, I suspect. So he's out, I'm afraid, and Lewis Lothian is the winner in a 105.80, so good improvement of nearly a second for Lewis.
Moving on to heat 4, in lane 0, Hamish Maxwell, South Ayrshire. In 1, Rory McCallum, Milngavie and Bearsden. In lane 2, Jake Ferguson from first. Lane 3, Aaron Elric, South Aberdeenshire. In 4, Archie Lorimer, Clitheroe. In lane 5, Aaron Machin, City of Glasgow. In 6, Kyle Connolly, City of Glasgow. In lane 7, Lachlan Small, Stirling Swim. In 8, Ife Iopoglu from South Ayrshire. And in lane 9, Daniel Hendry, City of Glasgow. Got some 14-year-olds in this one, Duncan.
Yep, lanes 1, 2 and 3 and 8, all in the 14 age group, the others in the younger age group. Looks a lot tighter, this one, compared with what we've been seeing. You see there's a couple of swimmers, maybe lane 8 and lane 4 turning just about together. Archie Lorimer in lane 4 just getting a touch, 30.63, so that's not as fast as we saw in the previous heat where we were under the 30 seconds. Ife is pretty much there in lane 8, and lane 7 now just coming through is Lachlan Small of Stirling. Lanes 4 and 5 having a good contest. The centre lanes, Archie Lorimer, Aaron Machin just behind Aaron Elric now, who perhaps has, well no, in fact it's going to be lane 7 taking the win. Lachlan 104.16, and that is our new fastest time, and that was a pretty well swum pacing there. It didn't go out too fast and earned himself a 2-second improvement on his entry time.
Yeah, Stirling Swim, another club that's doing particularly well at these championships. It's interesting to see the different progress that's been made since the last time we were here in 2019. I definitely see that moving up the field, moving up the table, if you like, of top clubs, Stirling Swim looking really good, and Perth City, East Lothian too.
Yep, line up for 5. Craig Campbell of Highland, Owen Bicken of South Aberdeenshire, Fraser van der Merlen of Stirling Swim, Archie Mcdonald of Putteridge, Ashton Kerridge of Glenrothes, Henry Shulia Barnes of Aberdeen Dolphin, Lewis Hay of Academy Swim Team Burnham-on-Sea in 6, Alexander McGregor of Perth City in 7, and in lane 8, Daniel Hay of West Lothian and Finch Geary of Step Rock in lane 9.
Yeah, 1:05.11, the fastest entry time into this heat, and it's the 5th of 10. But we've already seen several swimmers going underneath that 1 minute of 5. First to the wall, that's not a proper time, 22:34. That's the one we've got up on the board, isn't it? But he is swimming well. In lane 6, Lewis Hay.
So yes, it is lane 6, Lewis Hay, who is going to bring this one in. And let's see what his time is going to be. Oh no, in fact, lane 3, what a strong finish there. Takes the win. And that was Archie Mcdonald of Putteridge.
Yeah, 1:02.23 for him. So just saying that the fastest swimmers in the previous heats have been under the entry times for this, but we've got 2 swimmers there on 1:02. 1:02.33 it was for our winner, Archie Mcdonald. 1:02.55, Lewis Hay just pipped at the post there for the win.
Yep, so nicely done, Archie, up from Putteridge there to take that one. Yeah, up around Luton sort of way.
Yeah, Bedfordshire?
Yeah.
My neck of the woods. Well, it was. It's not been for 30 years. Heat 6 then. In lane 0, Alfie Price from Orkney. In lane 1, Aidan McCavish. First, in lane 2, Tyler Coots, Shetland. In lane 3, Callum Ferguson, South Lanarkshire. In 4, Dylan Mitchell, Warrington Bath. 5, Ewan Stevenson from first. In 6, Max Turnbull with Lothian. Lane 7, Daniel Frew, South Ayrshire. In lane 8, Alex Taylor, East Lothian. And in 9, James Geddes, Aberdeen Dolphins. We're starting to see the heats dominated by the 14-year-olds. Of course, a lot of physical difference between most 14-year-old swimmers and 13. It's not to say, I mean, everybody grows at different rates, but you're more likely to be approaching manhood, I think, as a 14-year-old than you are a 13-year-old. Few exceptions, of course. This is a really strong swim in lane 3. Callum Ferguson, South Lanarkshire, blue cap there, 1:02.33, time set in the previous heat. And it's best to replicate that. And he does, 1:01.6.
So we're getting towards the magic minute now, and as we go into the 3 cycle seeded heats coming up, I would expect us to go under it, but that was a good swim there from Callum, 1:01.60, 2.5 seconds inside his entry time.
There's been some really good swims, hasn't there, in this 100 freestyle? I think the boys, the swimmers in the afternoon, particularly benefiting from getting a bit of a rest in the morning and coming through and being able to swim fast swims in the afternoon, and then trying to hang on and better that in the evening.
Yeah, that would be nice, a line in the morning, wouldn't it?
That would be lovely, wouldn't it? Right, heat 7 then. So our next heat up is a cyclically seeded heat. No, it's not. It's the last that isn't, I think. Oh no, it is. It's a cyclically seeded heat. So Tom Jeffords, Ren 96 in lane 1, Sam Cool, Step Rock. Lane 2, Callum MacArthur, Mulgai and Bearston. 3, Harry Sharp, Warrington Bath. 4, Lewis Gibson, North Ayrshire. In 5, Taylor Hutton, Incas. In lane 6, Ishmael Shalaby, Warrington Bath Club. In 7, Finley Geddes, Lerwick. In lane 8, Rhys Edwards from Dumfries, and 9, Ethan George at Warrington Bath. Harry Sharp first to the wall in lane 3, but alongside him, nothing between them, Lewis Gibson in lane 4. Both 14-year-olds, and they're pretty much neck and neck. Perhaps Lewis Gibson just moving through, fastest entry into this one. Lewis, the winner of the 400s rather, and the 200 free. So not really that much of a surprise, and he is coming in towards the wall now. Lewis Gibson, North Ayrshire, takes that one, 58.23. Several swimmers under the minute. Lewis Gibson, 58.23. Harry Sharp in second place for Warrington Bath, and he finished in 58.72. Third home, Taylor Hutton.
Yeah, Harry Sharp is a bit of a revelation in the last month or two. He's really come from nowhere and is improving leaps and bounds with every swim. That was another big push forward, just breaking through the minute from him. He only just sneaked into the East District Age Group final. It looks like he's going to be in a pretty good lane here in the National Age Group final. So great stuff from him.
So heat 8 then. In lane 0, Stephen Laws Cooper. In lane 1, Connor Christophorus from Aberdeen Dolphins. In 2, Josh Elliott, Heart of Midlothian. 3, Corey Phillip, Dundee City Aquatics. Lane 4, Jensen Norris from Perth City. In 5, Cameron Hastings, Aberdeen Performance. In 6, Adam Prusik, Aberdeen Dolphins. 7, Declan Kay, East Lothian. In lane 8, Callum Stewart from Highland. And 9, Alex Tinch, Stirling Swim. Goodness, that's a great start there from Adam Prusik, Aberdeen Dolphins.
Yeah, a similar split to the previous heat, so certainly well clear of all of the others. Corey Phillip just about in second at the turn, but it looks like maybe it's Cameron Hasty. Oh, I don't know, maybe lane 3, Corey Phillip in the pink of Dundee City Aquatics. They are gradually coming back now. In fact, they're significantly coming back, and it looks like Corey is going through to take this one. Really good second half from the Dundee swimmer, 58.64. Takes the win.
Yeah, so just the one swimmer inside the minute for that, and our swimmer, the early leader, Adam Prusik, fading towards the end of his race. He had gone out really hard and 1:00. I expect he would be disappointed with that, you know, so close and yet so far away. His arms just stopped going round towards the end there, just pushed a little bit too hard out on that first 50. Lots to learn.
He should get another chance tonight.
Yep.
And 58.64, I think Corey will be very happy with that. He was 1:00.03 up in Aberdeen at North East Age Group, so comfortably going through the minute there.
Last heat in 0, Aidan Bruce. 1, Connor Aspinall. 2, Eamon Jaridi. In 3, Kenzie McLean. Lane 4, Dean Fern. In 5, Ross Anderton. 6, Dean Bugatti. In 7, Fraser Cowie. 8, Toby Bullock. And in lane 9, Yuan Watson. I wonder if Dean had in mind this 100 metres freestyle as he eased in towards the end on his medley.
Well, he's certainly pushing this one out with rather more intent than we saw in the 200 IM until we got to the closing stages. And let's see what he does in the second half. He's got himself a body length lead over lane 5, Ross Anderton. And it's certainly looking safe to see that one through. Just behind Ross in lane 3 is Kenzie McLean of Perth City. And they're fairly evenly matched now as we come down underneath the flags, but Dean again I think looking fairly controlled and capable of more, but although having said that, it's inside his entry time, so but I still think he's capable of more.
Yeah, I think that's the best time for Dean Fern. He didn't put on that slow stroke that we saw in the medley, but he did look comfortable coming in towards the finish. Wasn't really pushing it on in the way you might have expected him to. So Lewis Gibson going through in second place, North Ayrshire. He looks strong as well. Lewis, the winner in the 2 and the 4. So there will be a bit of a contest there this evening, I think, for Dean. He's going to have to work very hard to become the champion in that one as well.
And I'm sure he'll be conscious of that, and you know, trying to do a busy full program, not that old, so I'm sure he'll be getting good advice from the Aberdeen Dolphin coaching team to just how to manage his schedule and how to swim his heats and save his best for when it really matters. 100 breaststroke is going to be next. We're going to have 7 heats going in this one.
Yeah, 7 heats, and in our first heat, not quite full. In lane 1 we have Madison Stewart, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 2, Isla Luke, East Lothian. In lane 3, Amy Dobson from Kingston. Lane 4, Caitlin Reid, Warrender Bath Club. In lane 5, Kira Middleton, Stirling Swim. Lane 6, Lucy Fleming, East Lothian. Lane 7, Ellen White, Stirling Swim. And in lane 8, Rosie Suchfield from Warrender Bath Club. Again, several of these swimmers were really in the water not that long ago. And here they are again diving in. Several of these swimmers are 12 and they're swimming in the 12-13 age group. Our youngest age group is 11 to 13. We really have got very few 11-year-olds, although we have got one coming up. So nice and even down this first 100 of the breaststroke. Amy Dobson, Kingston, looking good alongside Caitlin Reid, Warrender Bath as well in the red cap. Entry times are all in the 1:31s. 132s, just a low 132s, and coming through nicely now, pushing on, Lucy Fleming from East Lothian, another one of the 12-year-old swimmers in 6, and alongside her in 8, Rosie Suchfield from Warren de Bath. Lucy getting the touch, 42.03.
Just 900ths ahead of Rosie in the red cap for Warrender. Also in the red cap in lane 4, her teammate Caitlin Reid is in the mix as well. And in lane 3, Amy Dobson of Kingston. But it's looking like it's lanes 6 and 8, and perhaps the advantage now with Rosie Stutchfield in lane 8. Not too much in it. Shouldn't discount Amy Dobson as well in lane 3. In fact, she is challenging now with Rosie Stutchfield, who gets a touch. Oh, that was close. And it does go to Amy Dobson. Look at that, 46.31 for a second half, over a second faster than anybody else. Nicely done, 129.44, 2 seconds inside her entry time.
Yeah, so just looking at the stats there, AB Swimming is a 12-year-old and winner of the West District age group. They have an 11-12 age group, being one of their younger ages, rather than combining the 12s with the 13s. So good swim from her, though. A couple of seconds inside her entry team. Kingston, a club in Glasgow City. Moving on to Heat 2 then. In Heat 2, we have a full heat. Well, we're just waiting for confirmation of that result, I think. So the swimmers lining up though are on the blocks, just ready to go. In lane 0 we have Emmy Aitken from Aberdeen Performance. In lane 1 Aileen McNichol, Burnt Island. In 2 Ava Ross, City of Glasgow. In lane 3 Anna Lawson, East Lothian. In lane 4 Josie Grimes, Warren de Bath. In lane 5 Victoria Weir first. In lane 6 Ksenia Mann from Dundee City Aquatics. 7 Manon Chembry from Perth City. In lane 8 Molly Binning from Ren 96. And in lane 9, Lexi Lamont, Aberdeen. They're our first 14-year-old swimmers of this, and we're only in Heat 2, so we're seeing 14-year-olds. A bit of a difference, the dynamics with the power from the boys coming just with that age. The girls, they're much closer together as they move from 13 through to 14. And it's a swimmer in lane 5, Victoria Weir, I think. And she is one of the 14-year-olds, just nosing out in front there.
Yep, representing first, entered 128.6, and certainly opening up a lead of nearly a body length, pretty tight behind her. Lane 7, I think, has second place. That's Manon Chembry of Perth. So 39.68 halfway through. And if she can come under any pressure. Ksenia Mann, probably the most likely one, the Dundee City Aquatic swimmer, and she is coming up strongly now. So alongside, is she going to go past? It looks like she is. The early leader is Victoria Weir, but she's just behind Ksenia now. That looks like it's going to be the 1-2. Still up there, Manon Chembry in lane 7 and Josie Grimes in lane 4, but a good win, a good second half from Ksenia in 1:27.55. So just looking at her entry time, it was 1:28.72, so over a second taken off that, and another recent time that was done up in Aberdeen recently at North District age groups.
Yeah, strong second half there from Ksenia, 46.13 to return home. So the fastest split. I mean, she did win the race as well, but fastest split by quite a long way coming home there.
Summary there for you. And on to heat number 3. We've got Kirsty Brechin, Aberdeen Dolphin in 0. Millie Colvin of Stranraer in 1. Abigail Thompson, Dundee City Aquatics in 2. Abby Coventry, that's the 11-year-old you mentioned, swimming for Tynemouth in 3. Daisy McInnes of City of Glasgow in 4. Emma Binney of North Ayrshire in 5. Amelia Burrell of Glenrothes in 6. Joanna Calder of Mulgai and Bearsden in 7. Caitlin Parnaby of Elgin in 8. And Ellie Wilson of Steprock in lane 9. Times here 1:27s to 1:28s, and on paper fairly close. And fairly close in the pool as well. Lanes 4, 6 and 7 all up there. Daisy McInnes, Amelia Burrell and Joanna Calder. Amelia is having a good season, and I think she is maybe just going to edge it at the halfway mark. 40.37 for her, against 40.43 for Daisy, and 41.01 for Joanna.
Quite interesting differences in techniques there. We can see the swimmer in the centre lane, City of Glasgow, Daisy McInnes, completely streamlined underneath the water during the glide phase of her breaststroke, where we can see the Glenrothes swimmer, her eyes are still up, looking forwards. It creates a little bit of extra resistance. Oh dear, I wonder if we've got cramp in lane 4.
Well, something terrible happened there. That's a real shame, because she was going so well. And it makes it a pretty tight contest though, as we come down. And it's lane 1 in the bright orange of...
And lane 8, Elgin swimmer, Caitlin Parnaby, looking really good just in the finish there. 127.13, Caitlin Parnaby takes that. Spoke about the split in the previous heat being a 40-46. Caitlin Parnaby through, finishing in 45 seconds, 127.13. Just the fastest that we've seen.
So that was a real shame there. And we hope that she is all right, Daisy McInnes.
Yeah, she was going well. I suspect that what she's done is, I was just pointing out the streamlining underneath the water, and I wonder if she's just not lifted her head quite high enough up and just got a mouthful of water that she couldn't get rid of.
Certainly it was pretty sudden, wasn't it, where she just then did a freestyle. Now, of course, that immediately disqualifies her, and clearly in some discomfort at that point. So we hope you're okay, Daisy. And
yeah, she is safely to the end now. I don't think we saw her finish there, but she's safely and looking reasonably comfortable at the end of the pool now, so don't worry about Daisy.
So, of course, she unfortunately is disqualified for that technical infraction. So it was Caitlin Parnaby, Millie Colvin, Amelia Burrell, the 1, 2, 3. Heat number 4, Katie Gillies, Renfrew Bass in 0, Peyton Forbes of Bucky in 1, Kyla Masterman of Lerwick in 2, Emily Jackson of Newcastle in 3, Isla Gilmurray of Dundee City Aquatics in 4, Olivia Flockett of East Lothian in 5, Rebecca Strachan of South Lanarkshire in 6, Grace Hannock of East Lothian in 7, Lily Mundell of Hearts in lane 8, and Kristen Mckay of Warrender in lane 9.
Yeah, a good mix of 14-year-olds actually over here on the swimmer side, so in the higher numbered lanes, mostly 14-year-old swimmers, although we do have Lily Mundell, who's just 12, swimming in lane 8. The 13-year-olds are swimming over on the far side, and it's the swimmers in the centre lanes, although we're moving through quickly. Just as soon as we say that, in lane 7, Grace Hannock, East Lothian, looking good for this first 50, 38.67. Grace Hannock, half a second ahead of, in second place, Isla Gilmurray in the fastest seeded lane from Dundee City Aquatics. But pretty close race, actually. I think it's still Grace Hannock looking good, swimming in the 14-year age group. Pink cap there of Isla Gilmurray, very distinctive pink cap from Dundee City Aquatics in lane 4, drawing up alongside her now. It's really nip and tuck. Got a fast finish here from Kristen Mckay in lane 9. She's just coming through there, but I think it's the Dundee City Aquatics swimmer who's timed this one just nicely coming in towards the finish. She's going to touch that one first, 124.60, so good improvement there for Isla Gilmurray. Grace Hannock in second, 125.60, Kristen Mckay finishing in third place there.
Yep, some nice, again, well-controlled swims there. Isla and Grace both getting good improvements on their entry time. Kristen Mckay as well. We've seen quite a lot of Kristen over the 5 days of competition, and she comes in 125.91 in third place. On to the cycle seeded heat. This is heat number 5 of the 7. Ella Thompson of Perth City in 0, Macy Carty of Falthouse in 1, Emma Silcock of First in 2, Alana Wilson of North Lanarkshire in 3. First outing of the afternoon for Kiana Kurtzer goes in lane 4 for Warrender, Sydney Boyd of Midlothian in 5, Freya Beaton of City Glasgow in 6, Madison Christopher of Aberdeen Dolphin in 7, Addison Cole of South Lanarkshire in 8, Ellen Denny for Geary in lane 9.
So our first sight of Kiana Kutzer this afternoon. She really is a very versatile swimmer, isn't she? I mean, all sorts of distances, all strokes. Breaststroke perhaps not her strongest stroke, but here she is going in as the fastest seed in this heat. But it's Madison Christopher that's taking this heat out from lane 7. Madison Christopher. I think she has won a medal already. Yeah, she was. She was the silver medalist in the 13-year age group in the 50 breaststroke. So she's going to have to work hard to hang on to that, but lovely gliding stroke, very undulating. In the middle though, Kiana Kurtzer, Warrington Bath, and also alongside her from Midlothian in the green cap, Sydney Boyd. They're looking good. Madison Christopher is just 12.
Yep, so it's going to be these three. So Kiana probably is not going to catch Madison, I don't think. So she takes the win. Kiana just ahead of Sydney Boyd, and that's your 1, 2, 3, and probably expect to see all of them in their respective finals. Certainly Madison has set the pace there for the 12-year-olds, 1:21.44.
Yeah, that's an improvement of 3 seconds on her entry time, which was swum at the North District Age Group Championships, and that was only 3 weeks ago. So 3 seconds down. Was it well prepared or improving very rapidly at the moment?
I was going to say they'll be rested, of course, for this meet. A lot of them will have tapered for this, which they wouldn't have done for the North District Age Group. But on day 5, does that taper still apply?
I don't think these swimmers are old enough to taper, really. I mean, maybe Kiana, I don't know. But, I mean, she was down at the British Championship, so she may well have been prepared for that. They will prepare, and they will have a little bit of a rest. You know, they're not at school these last 2 weeks. I think that really helps. You know, they will still be training probably as much as they were, and maybe even more in the lead up. But certainly these 12, 13, 14-year-olds, like I say, their preparation will be a little bit of rest.
So heat number 6, we have Niamh Quinn of Kintyre in 0, Molly Irvin Watson of Stranraer in 1, Jessica Kirkwood of Aberdeen Performance in 2, Orla Henderson of Shetland in 3, Zara Kravis of East Lothian in 4, Alice Cumming of City of Glasgow in 5, Mirren Gibb of Stranraer in 6, Keisia McCappin of First in 7, Rosie Heaps of Fauldhouse in 8, and Melissa Menny at City of Glasgow in lane 9.
In fact, we've got a couple of swimmers electing not to swim this one. Alice Cumming from City of Glasgow in lane 5, absent as is Keziah McCappin, but let's concentrate on this. It's going to be the swimmer who would be between the two empty lanes, isn't it? So Mirren Gibb from Stranraer turning first, 38.42 at the halfway mark for Mirren, and closest to her, Orla Henderson. So all are travel down from Shetland, both in the 14-year age group, and they are in front, but Zara Kravic, the winner in the 13-year age group, between them. So she's won the 50 and the 200 and been a very busy swimmer. But she's not going to catch up with these 14-year-old girls. It is between Orla Henderson and Mirren Gibb as we come into the final 15 metres. I think Orla Henderson, perhaps from Shetland, just moving past Mirren Gibb now, leader at the halfway mark. Nicely timed swim from Orla Henderson coming through there, having travelled down probably on the boat, 1:22.18, so not quite as fast as the previous heat, but a really good swim there from Orla. Mirren Gibb in second, 1:24.57. Jessica Kirkwood touching there in third, and Jessica 1:25.84. I think Jess is a 13-year-old as well. So a couple of 13-year-olds in that heat. Jessica Kirkwood, 13, 1:25.84.
In fact, Molly and Zara both 13s as well, so they can see the sort of just over half a second spread between those three, so that could be interesting later on.
Yeah, although I think the fastest through there are 12-year-old Madison Christopher from the previous heat. Looks like she'll take the centre lane. We have got a couple of 13-year-olds in this next heat, but let's see. In lane 0, Abigail Thomas from Highland Swim Team. In 1, Millie Barton, North Lanarkshire. 2, Ellie Kennedy, City of Glasgow. In lane 3, Madeleine Patterson, City of Glasgow. Lane 4, Niamh Savary from Newcastle. In 5, Leonie Bedborough, Incas. In lane 6, Carrie Preacher, Lerwick. In 7, Evie Mackey, South Lanarkshire. In lane 8, Eva Robertson, Highland. In lane 9, Kimberly Willis, South Ayrshire. Final heat.
Niamh Savary taking this one out. Newcastle-based swimmer, Northumberland and Durham County champion, and just ahead of the swimmer in lane 6. That's the low swimmer, Carrie Preacher. Turning 37 for Neve, 37.83 for Kari.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, Neve was the bronze medalist in the 50 metres breaststroke. Won the silver in the 200 metres individual medley. Looking really good for this 100. Fastest seed into the race. Perhaps 100, just her distance. And looking very strong. 1:18.03 her entry time. Not a Scot, I understand, but looking really good. Out in front there, closest to her, the Glasgow swimmer, I think it's just the one alongside, so it's Madeleine Patterson in second. Neve Savory coming through, that fastest entry time now, 1:19.75, 1:21.66, Madeleine Patterson. Not quite inside that time we saw from Madison Christopher. That was a really good swim, wasn't it, from Madison in our earlier heat, but second place it was there for Madeleine Patterson, and third home Carrie Preacher, another Shetland swimmer.
So Neve Savory there, I think, will be fastest in the 14-year-old final, so nice swim from her. Just checking that thing about not being a Scot, I think she might have registered very late on before these championships, and I think she might actually be a Scot. We will check that out before the finals take place.
Oh, that's good news.
Always nice to have these swimmers from south of the border declaring their allegiance for Scotland. That's what we like to see. Because we've had some fantastic swimmers who are south of the border and come on to represent Scotland with distinction. And Kathleen Dawson certainly is one that comes to mind. And we've got quite a few others in that category as well.
Yeah, it's a learning exercise, I think, for some of these younger swimmers as well, not really aware of the rules that decide the nationality or nationalities that can be claimed. So there are eligibility criteria to do with parentage, but you can also have some, we have some Scots who qualify by virtue of residency.
Yes, we do. So we now go to 50 backstroke. First of our sprints this afternoon. We've got 9 heats coming on that. You can see our 2 disqualifications there, Daisy and Ellie, at the back of that listing of the 100 breaststrokers. So in the first heat, we're going to have Lockie Billow of Shetland, Arlo Ritchie of South Aberdeenshire, Thomas Vakulitz of Hart, 2 Inverclyde swimmers, Scott Brodie and Cameron Beck, and Elliot Stephen from Trojan. Nice team based at Whitburn in West Lothian. Just a little pause while they set up the pool for the 50s. So you have to make sure that get the finishes at the scoreboard end of the pool.
Yeah, so here's just a little bit of information for you from our heats in the breaststroke. We were saying that the 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds were well interspersed throughout the whole of the heats. There's only actually, I mean, if we look at the top 10 in the 14-year-olds, the slowest time into that final is 1:25. Now for the 13-year-olds, it's only 1:26, so really not that much advancement made through in that depth, if you like, over the top 10. We would see that with the boys because of the strength development that they get around and about that age through puberty.
Well, that might be a bit of lockdown residue with these younger swimmers probably behind in the development that they would have been in a normal environment.
Yeah.
But here we go with those 5-6 swimmers that we went through just now. So expect these all to be pretty close. Going nicely in lane 3 is Arlo Ritchie, and the white caps at the bottom of your screen, Cameron Beck, Elliot Stephen. Elliot perhaps is the one who has got the advantage in lane 7, and he is going to take this by maybe half a metre. Let's see what his time is, 35.44, so lovely improvement that, 37.5 entry time. I'll take that every day.
Yeah, so in heat number 2 we have Hamish Maxwell, South Ayrshire, Anatoly Guys from Aberdeen Dolphins, Cole Murphy, City of Glasgow, Lachlan Hannay, I'm just going to say the names I think. In lane 4, Finlay Bruce, In lane 5, Lewis Lothian. In 6, Adam Calder. In lane 7, Adam Selby. In lane 8, Stepan Nachuk. And in lane 9, Fraser Muir. So full heat this time. Everybody there in the water. And a couple of 12-year-olds, but all of the swimmers swimming in the 11 to 13 year age group.
So off they go. We'll see whether anybody breaks out. Clear and not really is the answer. All 10 swimmers, well, most of them anyway, fairly close. Perhaps lane 5, and that is Lewis Lothian of East Lothian. He has had a pretty good week, including part of a mixed medley winning team, gold medal winning team, and certainly looks to be the one, I think from memory, did the backstroke in that relay. 36.7 his entry time, and well, clock not stopping for him, but I think he will be given the lead. 36.85 I'm pretty sure is not correct, so we'll wait to see if that gets corrected.
No, I'm confident with you that he touched first there and just not registering the touch on the pad.
So they do have the backup buttons, of course, so if there is a discrepancy between the primary time from the pad and the secondary time from the backup button, that usually is queried, and then obviously the referee sees what he sees in terms of the finish order, and he'll I'm expecting him to insert the backup time there to fit that, but for the fact that we're just waiting a while to get the official results suggests that that might be what's happening, but we just need to wait and see if it does.
Yeah, so two aspects to the completion and publication of race results. So it's the finish order and the times, and there's those cross checks that are carried out by the finish judges and the referee, just to make sure that the both of them tally together. And how necessary was that yesterday when we had those issues with, it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before, wasn't it? Goodness, so it all blends together. Fairly confident that was Lewis Lothian. We see that the correction on the scoreboard, so 35.9 the finish time given to Lewis Lothian, so not quite as fast as the previous heat, but the win nonetheless for him in 35.9.
And an 0.8 improvement as well, so that was pretty good. Line up in heat 3, Oliver King in lane 0 for South Ayrshire, Ryan Calder, Finlay Bennett, Dexter Suter, Finch Geary, Tyler Coots, Andrew Brackenridge, Keir Campbell, Kyle Connolly and Lewis Maxwell Pauls.
Lots of different stances now for the backstroke start, isn't there? We're using these backstroke ledges, and all of the swimmers are electing to use them, but there's a weird and wonderful array of different ways of setting yourself up in readiness for the start. I think in lane 6 maybe, although strongly as well in lane 1. Oh, I'm not very good at this, Duncan.
Yeah, it's tough to call this one, isn't it? The two blue caps going well in lane 7 and 8. That is Keir Campbell and Kyle Connolly, and I think it's going to be Kyle just showing the strength in the latter stage of that race to just make it clearly his own. And a nice time, 34.71 as well.
Yeah, in my defence, I'd say that Kyle did come through very strongly in the second half of that race. So the swimmers around and about him that I was mentioning, just getting passed by him just as we came in towards the final 10. Well done, Kyle. Good swim.
Yeah, big improvement there. 36.10 entry time down to a 34.71. So nice stuff. And it's great to see these PBs still coming through on day 5. So yeah, well done to the fitness of swimmers. Real testament to how they have prepared themselves for these championships. So take a bow, all of you, with your PBs on day 5.
You're very kind, Duncan. I think it suits different swimmers in different ways. We'll see some swimming like troopers on the first day and maybe fading towards the end as they do tire. But some will race through and their performances improve all the way through these 5 days of snags. Heat 3, heat 4, we are already on heat 4. Rory Duncan, South Ayrshire in 0, in 1, Caleb Geddes in 2, Tristan Robin, 3, Kyle Harper in 4, Blake Herdman, 5, Luke Livingston in 6, Adam Merrick in 7, Sky Kyle Bunchai in 8, Theo Adobo, and in lane 9, Lyndon Ferty.
35s, 35.4 to 35.7, the entry times here. And so, as you would expect, really, really close. And that's really not telling you too much about who's leading the way.
Adam Merrick looking good, perhaps. North Lanarkshire swim team in that white cap in lane 6. They're going well too in 2. Tristan Robbins, City of Glasgow. I think it's going to be the swimmer in lane 6. Adam Merrick just coming through there, taking that one. Oh, does he?
Theo as well was very close to getting that, but Adam Merrick, you spotted that one. Well done then.
Yes, yeah, getting my eye in.
34.60, just a touch faster than the previous heat. 3.7. Oh, let's work this one out. 11 hundredths faster than the previous heat. And just 3 hundredths in it between first and second there. Adam Merrick just edging it because Theo was finishing really strongly there. And he comes in the 34.63, so that was also a very nice improvement for him.
So, and to heat number 5 already. Still got the scoreboard up for late heat 4, but anyway, in 0, Brodie Armstrong, 1, Archie Lorimer, in 2, Jude Mowbray, 3, Jed Armitage, in lane 4, Tom Massey, 5, Henry Shulev Barnes, in 6, Jake Ferguson, 7, Kai Fern, in lane 8, Glenn Liversidge, and in lane 9, Kyle Mossman. Birthday boy back again.
Yep, no rest for his birthday, 13 today. So these swimmers 34.9 up to 35.4. Again, going out more or less together. Perhaps the Aberdeen Dolphin swimmer in lane 5. That's Henry Shulia Barnes, just opening up a slight advantage now as we see
Archie
him go.
Lorimer looking good in lane 1 as well, our 13-year-old swimmer. Henry Shulev Barnes, 14. I think it's going to be lane 1. I spotted that one out from there. Very close at the finish and finishing with his head. Archie Lorimer just getting that one, finishing with his head on 33.95, so under 34 seconds.
I think if he'd managed to get his arm in the right place at the right time there, that would have been a bit faster, so something to work on there. We'll see whether he gets another go. There's still a number of 13-year-olds to come, but he's certainly going to be in the mix. I think he'll probably get there with that time into the final.
Fastest time we've seen so far. There are quite a few 13-year-olds left to go. Most of them will make improvements, judging by what's been going on already, but some of them may not, so I think he's looking good for the final.
But we will need to wait and see.
Heat 6. In lane 0, Aaron Drake, Warren de Bath. In 1, Owen Beichin from South Aberdeenshire. In lane 2, Thomas Pritchard, Kinross. In 3, Alexander McGregor, Perth City. In 4, Daniel Frew, South Ayrshire. 5, Sam Cool, Step Rock. In lane 6, Callum Stewart, Highland Swim Team. In 7, Fraser van der Molen, Stirling Swim. Lane 8, Callum Mackenzie, Perth City. And in lane 9, Fraser Gemmell from First.
So just 2 tenths separating the entry times of all of these 10 swimmers. And again, it's really, really close, coming down towards the halfway markers. Seeing a line of them there across as our cameraman follows them down the pool. And really, it's very hard to see who's going to get this one. Maybe lane 5 now, starting to make a move. That is Sam Cool of Step Rock, and it is going to be Sam taking it in the end quite comfortably. It was very much the second half that did that for him. Fortunately, just coming through, you saw a disqualification in lane 7. That's Fraser van der Molen, unfortunately, comes out. But Sam Cool taking the win. Time of 33.20, so about 3/4 of a second faster than the previous heat. Nice swim from the 14-year-old.
And into the seeded heat. This is heat number 7, just lining up to go into the water. In lane 0, Dylan Mitchell, Warren de Bath. Lane 1, Ethan George, Warren de Bath. In lane 2, Lewis Hay. In lane 3, James Geddes. In 4, Adam Prusik. In 5, Dean Bargatti. 6, Erosmail Shalaby. In lane 7, Ewan Stevenson. In lane 8, Fraser Cowie. And in 9, Charlie Burns. A little bit of a delay. Not sure what the delay is. We've got the start list up on the scoreboard.
Well, whistle's gone now, so into the water they go and get themselves set. Adam Prusek and Dean Bargatti in the centre lanes, Aberdeen Dolphin and South Lanarkshire respectively in the 31s. Everybody else goes 32s out to the 34s in the outside lane. So this should be an arrowhead, and certainly good starts in the two centre lanes from Adam and Dean. Also up there with them is Ismail Shalabi in lane 6 for Warrender, and he's certainly going very nicely there. He's ahead of Dean Bargatti, probably just behind Adam Plusek. So it's going to be between these two, fairly close, but I think Adam is going to take it, and he does. 30.86 for him.
That's a good swim there from Adam. He swam a stormer in the 100 freestyle as well. And there's lots of swimmers backing up their 100 freestyle swims with fast 50 backstrokes. Perhaps a lesson there about making sure that you do a really hard warm-up in readiness for your race when it's a quick one. To see, like I say, Adam Prusik 30.86. He was 6th in the North District age group, and he's improved on that time. Good for him.
Big improvement from Ishmael as well, well over a second inside his entry time, so nice work from the Warrender boy. There's your lineup for heat number 8. Ross Hutchinson, Yuan Watson, Max Turnbull, Harry Sharp, Corey Phillip, Finley Geddes, Callum MacArthur, Ife Ayuproglu, Archie Mcdonald and Alex Tinch. Does seem like no time since we were talking with these swimmers in the freestyle.
Yeah, it's just the same again. A bit of a malfunction on his start there, unfortunately, for Harry Sharp, Warren DeBarth. That just didn't work out for him. Corey Phillip looking really good, Dundee City Aquatics in lane 4. Entry time of 29.92, so we would expect him to see taking the lead, and he is looking pretty comfortable out in front there. A full body length ahead of in second place, Finley Geddes from Lerwick. And Corey Phillip does indeed take that one, 29.92, and looking good as well. 30.04 his time. So just outside his entry time, just outside the 30. And in second place, he had Finley Geddes, and third home, Callum MacArthur.
Yeah, fairly emphatic win there for Corey, just outside that 30 seconds, as you said, Lynn. And we're expecting certainly a sub 30 seconds swim coming up now. The lineup for the final heat: Taylor Hutton, Max Miller, Alex Taylor, Eamon Jaridi, Dean Fern, Declan Kay, Connor Aspinall, Nevi Singular, Ethan Collins and Stephen Laws. Still waiting for confirmation of that last race, but now we've got it. 30.04 winning time there, as we said. Finley 31.49, Callum 32.11.
Final heat then. And the swimmers all in their starting positions, ready to go. I say a weird array of stances going through there. Dean Fern in the middle, the favourite for this one. He's fastest through the two other finals, isn't he, that he's got on his 100 free. He was really going for it. This 50 back, he's going for it even more, isn't he?
He's definitely going for this. This is really, really fast. He is up by a country mile. This is not about just making it to the final. This is about blitzing and seeing what you can do. So let's see what he can do. This time stopping at 28.18, just a smidgen away from the Scottish National Age Group record. So really good performance there. Can he? What's that? 28.02 is where the record stands. So very, very close to it. I wonder if he could just do that tonight. I think he was probably going for that there. It was so fast. It wasn't just about doing what it takes to qualify. That was going for the best he could possibly do and absolutely smashing that. Eamon Jaridi second and Declan Kay third, but really that was all about Dean Fern. 28.18. That was a special swim.
Yeah, we don't really know what his plans were there, but I mean, he's already swum. This is his third swim this afternoon in really not very long. What's the time? How long to do those? It's only 3:05. So 3 swims in quite close succession.
Just over an hour, yes.
And working hard through all of those. I wonder if he'll contest all of those finals tonight. That will be up to him and his coach to make those decisions. I hope he does.
I bet he does. I bet he does. I don't think it's in his nature not to go for the challenge.
I think he will have that record in his mind, though. That'll certainly be a target that he's set. He has set age group records. In 50 backstroke is his favoured event, although he's very strong on lots of events. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how he goes tonight.
He has already turned 14, so he's got rid to the best part of a year to get that record. So if he doesn't get it today, that's not the end of the world. It's there for another day.
No, I mean, our long course season obviously will finish in July. As a 14-year-old, he should be qualifying for the British Summer Championships, perhaps a good opportunity there. He'll be prepared by his team to perform at his best there in the summer.
So this is girls 50 butterfly, the first heat. We've got Chloe Semple, Kyla Masterman, Eva Smith, Gina Wren, Emma Binney, Heidi Carr, Abigail Crawford and Lucy Hall. And it's the City of Glasgow swimmer Gina Wren looks to have the advantage. Not used to seeing a Wren girl going in the first heat, but Gina, well, let's not be all going her way, because look at Lucy Hall. What a finish from her. That was a cracking swim from lane 8 there, 33.05 for her. 2.4 seconds knocked off by Lucy there. Very well done.
Yeah, that was a cracking second half of that length for Lucy Hall. And 33.05, a very impressive time there. We'll move on quickly to Heat 2. And we have in 0 Eva Kay, in 1 Emmy Aitken, in 2 Ailey McNichol. In lane 3 Molly Irvin Watson, in 4 Macy Carty, 5 Lauren Ferret. In lane 6 Ellie Wilson, 7 Ksenia Mann, in lane 8 Abby Coventry, and in lane 9 Hannah Yao. So the girls onto their third event of the afternoon as well. A range of ages here. Youngest swimmer Abby Coventry again, our 11-year-old representing Tynemouth. We've got some 13-year-olds, some 12-year-olds and some 14-year-olds as well, so a full array. Macy Carty fastest into this heat, but look at lane 0 go. East Lothian swimmer again in 0 and looking very strong. Eva Kay, good showing here from the pink cap in lane 7 as well. Ksenia Mann, Dundee City Aquatics, a 12-year-old.
Yeah, it's going to be tight here. I think Ksenia just coming through though, and is going to take the win in 33.41.
Yeah, good swim there from Ksenia. Just driving towards the wall at the end. I think she touched that one really well.
Over a second inside her entry time. Second place was Macy Carty. And third, Ellie Wilson.
Heat 3 up next. Just under orders from the referee. In 0, Caitlin Parnaby. 1, Vary Kemp. In 2, Keziah McCappin. In 3, Emma Miller. In 4, Alicia Lyon. In 5, Emily Dawson. 6, Jessica Kirkwood. 7, Madison Christopher. In 8, Sky Buchanan. In lane 9, Chloe Kirk. So fairly even. In fact, we're missing the swimmer in lane 2. The rest of the swimmers are very even indeed. Maybe this Aberdeen Dolphin swimmer, Madison Christopherus.
Again.
Yeah, because that was a cracking breaststroke from Madison, wasn't it? Fastest 13-year-old through. And that's given her a bit of confidence there, and she's going to take this one in the 50 fly as well. Fastest through 32.44, Madison Christopherus. Emily Dawson touching second, 32.64. Jessica Kirkwood in third, 32.97.
Yeah, Madison, I think, could work on her finish there. I think she would have won that more emphatically if she had just spotted that finish slightly better, but still an excellent swim and on a roll. So well done, Ksenia, having a smashing afternoon. There's confirmation of that result. So just 2 tenths in the end between Madison, Emily, Jessica Kirkwood third. So we go to heat number 4. There they all are. Morgan Higgins, Millie Barton, Alice Finley, Caitlin Reid, Rosie Heaps, Carly Preacher, Isla Wetton, Freya Dand, Lily Mundell and Emily Thompson. So out of the dive, 1 Good start from the Lothian swimmer Isla Wetton in lane 6. She's been on the podium. Don't think she's had a gold yet, but she's certainly been a number of silvers to her name. But this is really tight. I mean, they're all across the pool. Who can tell who's going to get the win here? Certainly from that shot she can't. From that one it gives you a bit more of an advantage to sort it out. Rosie Heaps and lane 6 Isla Wetton. I think it's Isla Wetton, yes it is. 32.56 for her.
Yeah, very close that one. You couldn't tell even until we came down to the final touch who was going to get it. Rosie Heaps though.
Yep, she was second.
Yeah, it's just pipped at the post by Isla
Yep.
Wetton. 32.56 fastest time for that one. We move on to heat 5. In lane 0, Kira Finderson. 1, Evie Mackey. 2, Ellie Kennedy. In 3, Amelia Leslie. 4, Ruby Dan. In 5, Zara Kravich. In 6, Phoebe Arbuckle. 7, Ellen Denny. 8, Kalia Smith. And in lane 9, Ava Marco. Lots of flexibility there from Phoebe Arbuckle. We've seen her in the 1500, 800 free, and here she is contesting the 50 metres butterfly.
Yep, going in lane 6 in the 2 centre lanes. It's Ruby Dan of Tynemouth and Zara Kravis of East Lothian. The advantage looks to be with Ruby in lane 4. In fact, pretty emphatically with Ruby, I think, as we come down into the final 5. And she takes this in good style, 30.95. Her entry time, 30.41. So hopefully there's more to come tonight.
Yeah, almost finishing on her face then. I think she'll be looking to improve that finish tonight, and that half a second could quite easily just come down. On this to our second of our seeded heats. In 0, Abigail Thomas. 1, Millie Colvin. In 2, Mirren Gibb. Lane 3, Alice Cumming. In 4, Madison Cool. 5, Kirsty Breek. In 6, Sophia Fallons. In lane 7, Isla Kay. In 8, Isla Gilmurray. 9, Isla Petrie. Madison Cool. So Madison Cool there, silver medalist in the 100 and the 200 of the fly. To Kiana Kurtzer in the 100.
Kirsty Breekin, though, is the one who got the fastest start. And look at her go in lane 5. Madison having to try and play catch-up here in lane 4, and I'm not sure she's going to do it. It does look like it is going to be the Aberdeen Dolphin swimmer, Kirsty Breekin, bringing this one home over a metre clear in the end, and 29.64 is the fastest time with 1 heat to go. And very nice from Kirsty, entered 30.64 the time she did at North District age groups, so taking a second off that today.
Yeah, Kirsty, that looked really, really strong. I mean, nice to see two North, from my perspective, nice to see two North District swimmers swimming so well there in that penultimate heat.
1 more heat to go. As we just see the confirmation of that result, Kirsty, Madison and Alice, the 1, 2, 3. Sophia and Isla Kay for the 5th, and 3 Islas in a row there. How about that? Anyway, the lineup for the final heat: Madison Stewart, Kristen Mckay, Eve Wood, Coco Croxford, Kiana Kurtzer, Layla Weatherspoon, Melissa Menny, Amber Littlejohn, Ember Silcott and Isla Dobson. Time they've got to beat 29.64 if they want lane 4. Out of the dive, and it's Layla Weatherspoon of Hearts who's just got the edge. So an Edinburgh contest developing here in the centre lanes with Kiana Kurtzer just behind Layla in lane 4. You can see them across in the yellow lanes there, and just as we come towards the final 5, this is going to be tight. It's all about who they are, where they are in the strokes, and that was Kiana who just judged that to a T. 29.79, not quite as fast as Kirsty Breekin in the previous heat, but certainly puts her right in contention for another gold medal tonight. Layla Weatherspoon not far behind her, and well, maybe if she had just nailed her finish a bit more tidily, she could have been up there as well. But she is showing us 30 seconds exactly on the scoreboard here in the venue, and that's confirmed. Coco Croxford taking 3rd in 31.23.
No, it's going to be a really exciting final this evening. Actually, the 13-year-old final as well, but I think we'll see Kiana Kurtzer and just alongside Kirsty Breakin. Kirsty, smashing swim that was, wasn't it? I wouldn't say it's unexpected, just because we weren't expecting it doesn't mean to say that she wasn't.
No, I mean, she was in the mix, who came in as 5th fastest.
Yep.
Yeah, she was obviously on good form, having done her best time at North District age groups, and we've seen lots and lots of people progressing from the district age groups through to this week. Yeah, no, it was an excellent swim, and we'll see what she can do tonight. 800 freestyle is coming up now for the boys. We've got 2 heats to go in this one. So settle back for the next 20 minutes or so for some good distance swimming.
Yeah, so we had some tight contests this morning, didn't we, in the 800 metres freestyle. Again, we see a mix of the different age groups. All of the swimmers in this first heat are aged in the 11 to 13 year age group. The fastest entry time is 10:17. Faster entry times in the second heat, so these ones in the first heat will be looking to post the fastest time that they can in order to give themselves a chance of a medal, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swimmers in the second heat in the 13-year age group. So only 5 14-year-old boys electing to contest this event. It's on the 5th day. Some of them have been really busy. But for these swimmers who prefer those distance events, they've already swum their 1500. That was earlier on in the meet. In fact, we can have a little look to see who it is that's won those 1500 for Matthew Soros in the 13-year age group, and he's in the second heat. Archie McArthur won the silver medal, and oh, I can't see. Oh, yes, he is. He's in the second heat as well, and Connor Aspinall. So those 3 medalists from earlier on in the meet for the 1500 will be running in heat 2. So this everybody can win a medal. It's a heat declared winner. So you've got just as good a chance in lane 1, but you've got to swim fast.
So pretty close at the 100. Aaron Machin just getting the touch from lane 4, 1:10.31. Lane 7, Fraser Gemmell went up very fast down the first length, but now settling into his stride, I guess, and maybe just moving back into the lead now. In fact, definitely is. So he is looking good. The Warrender swimmer, Aaron Drake, not far away from him. So they're now going to be 1 and 2. At the 150, just 400s between them. Aaron getting the touch, and then we've got the 2 in lanes 3 and 4, pretty much side by side. James Kilpatrick, who this week has been swimming consistently capless, which is a pretty rare thing nowadays.
Yeah, and swimming well in the backstroke events. So he's been a medalist in the backstroke events, but swimming a lot of different events, different styles and strokes and things like that. Good to see him in the 800 free as well. But I'm liking this. So we've got the swimmer from just moving through. I was just going to say from first, but it's Warren DeBar swimmer just moving through there. Aaron Drake just to take the lead in 2:27.1. So slowed as you'd expect from that first 100, where you've got the dive, which always gives a deceptive fast start. You can't work out the finish times, can you, from that first 100? You just can't tell. But pretty close between Aaron Drake, Warren DeBar and Fraser Gemmell from first. I was just going to say, I mean, for those of you that are following the team results, I'll just give you the point scores. We did give them out this morning, but you may not have heard them if you're only tuning in for the afternoon. And the 10th place team is Falkirk Integrated Regional Team, first 173. On 187, that's the team from Stirling Swim. On 200, in 8th place, the team from Heart of Midlothian. On 223 points, it's Aberdeen Dolphin Swimming Club. On 281.5, the team from South Lanarkshire. The top 5 in 5th place, University of Aberdeen Performance 379. Perth City having a storming meet in 413 points. They're in 4th. East Lothian Swim Team 628.5. Warren Bath Club 856 points in second place, and the leaders after day 4, because we haven't got any points from this morning or anything, and it won't be decided until tonight, but it's City of Glasgow swim team in first place on 1,073 points.
So this is continuing to be a pretty competitive race with the Warrender swimmer Aaron Drake just opening up a little bit of a gap, although Fraser Gemmell sticking in there in lane 7, and then James Kilpatrick and Aaron Meachin side by side. So on the way back, and well, it does look like Aaron is now starting to open the lead up, and Fraser perhaps just now coming under pressure from James and Aaron. And also there in the yellow cap is Geary's Fergus Reid. So turning into maybe a 4-way contest for second behind our leader Aaron Drake.
Yeah, there's not many clubs swimming a yellow cap, so it's quite nice to see that yellow cap of Geary. Their colours yellow and blue. We're perhaps more used to seeing them swimming in a blue cap, but they go through different phases. They've recently had their 50th anniversary, and clubs quite often introduce a special cap for that. But I think this is just an alternative for them, a yellow cap. I don't know if it's a status cap or anything like that. But nice to see that yellow cap really clearly identifiable, just like the red one of Warren Bath, belonging to our leader Aaron Drake, still in first place. I think perhaps looking at around and about 10:10. What do you think, Duncan?
Yeah, that was my estimation as well, if he can keep this going. But ideally, it would be like wanting to try and build it up in the second half. So we'll keep an eye on that. He was about 117.7 or something like that for his third 100 one. So we'll see, well, his 400, I should say. So this is coming up to 500 now.
Yeah, we've seen some good pacing strategies from the Warrender swimmers, especially noticeable in the 200 metres backstroke, where they've had a very strong second half. Not so much, because we haven't seen quite so many of them in the distance freestyle events, but we spoke about James Kilpatrick in his lack of swim cap, and he looks to be moving very well through the water here. He's not up yet with Fergus Reid, but he's moving pretty sharply through the water. I fancy he's got a little bit left in the tank as we come towards, into the second half of the race.
You see the Warrender contingent down in the bottom there, giving the encouragement to Aaron to keep this going. So nice to see the club supporting their swimmers, particularly in these longer distance events. And Aaron just continuing to gradually wind it up. Let's check on the split. So he's 38.48. Fergus 39s, Fraser 39s. In fact, they're all in 39s behind Aaron. So that gap is continuing to increase. It is the Geary swimmer, Fergus Reid, who's gradually imposing that second place. Fergus North District Age Group Champion.
Yeah, Aaron managing to consistently churn out 1 minute 17s mid for his 100s. If he maintains that pace, he's sitting just outside the 10:10 mark, which would be a good improvement for him. There's 2 of the 13-year-old boys in the next heat. Their entry times are outside that, so if he can get under 10:10, he'll put himself in with a shout of a medal, and he's looking good.
Yeah. Talked about Aaron before as having made a move from the best program swimming with Peebles, and now just in the last few months has moved into the city to Warrender from Edinburgh, of course, and he seems to be thriving on that. His sister has obviously done the same thing, so we wish the Drakes well in their Warrender career. And certainly Aaron looks to be pushing it on. That was a 37.6, so he is moving very nicely here. Still, it's the Geary swimmer in second place.
both these swimmers, I think, are turning the pace on a little bit. I mean, 37 split. It's been 38 mids all the way through. Aaron was the bronze medalist in the 200 metres backstroke earlier. I always think you really need to have a strong kick and strong legs. Lots of development there on the leg kick, and it'd be interesting to see if he can even turn the kick up a bit as we go into the final 100. So all the swimmers here in the bell now, and Aaron Drake away on his final 100. And that kick is pretty strong. You see a strong kick as well in the second place swimmer, Fergus Reid from Geary. So his entry time was 10:53.05. He's going to be well inside that, isn't he?
Yes, he is. And Aaron's was 10:20, and he'll be. I don't think he's got a shout at getting under 10:10. Let's see if he can do that. So he's turning for home 9:31. So yeah, you would think so. Anything under a 38 would get him under the 10:10, and as you can see, he was a 36.8 there. So I think he can do this, get under the 10:10 for a 10+ second advantage. It's really been a good, strong swim, really from pretty early on. He has dominated. You see his stroke rate increasing now as he's got about 10 meters to go. Really upping the pace. Look at that big breath there just to get a bit more oxygen. Oh, what a sprint into the wall. That was cracking. 10:06.43. So, well, inside the 10:10 in the end. So nicely done, Aaron. He takes the win. James Kilpatrick, what a finish from him as well. Just to edge past Fergus Reid. You don't often see an 800 race decided by a 1/10 of a second like that. 34.04 for James. We thought that Aaron's 35.2 was good on his final 50, but look at James there. Wow, well done. 10:15.44. Fergus Reid then, really good swim from him. As you say, that's miles inside his entry time of 10:53, so has to be really pleased with that performance. Fraser Gemmell in a 10:18. That's a big improvement for him, about 35 seconds. Aaron Machin 10:21. He'll be a little disappointed with that because that's slightly outside his time. And the other swimmers coming in now. Cooper Sloss just entered over the 11 minutes, so he gets under the 11. So nice little PB from him.
Yeah, the introduction of this 800 free for our males and our younger swimmers, I think it suits them very well as a development towards that 1500. Not quite so many swimmers entered into that, but 800 free is a good development step for them, and it's lovely to see so many 13-year-old boys in the mix there. James Kilpatrick, I mean, that was an astonishing finish. I wonder if he could have gone well under that time had he paced it a little bit more evenly, but I did wonder if he had a little bit left at the end. Well, obviously he didn't after a 34.04, but I was expecting him to come through towards the end, but not in that kind of way. And I think he could have been under that time as well. I wonder how often he swims that 800 metres freestyle.
Well, really, this is his first serious season. A youngster, 13-year-old, as of course all of us were in the first heat, and you know, with no 800s and 1500s last season because of well, for obvious reasons, we're really just learning their craft here. So.
No, very difficult indeed to set realistic qualifying times for these swimmers because they just didn't get the chance to swim it last year. There were some short course opportunities. All the districts put on opportunities for swimmers to give those 800s. I think the West District did put some on at the West District age groups, but all of the other opportunities have been short course. So looking at the rankings, it would have been really difficult for the NGBs to decide, you know, where the qualifying time should be set. As you say, look, these swimmers have been really disadvantaged through the COVID years, and some of the clubs, whilst they've returned to full training now, they're only just gradually building it up. It did take a lot of time to come through quickly. Anyway, we're on to Heat 2 in lane 0, Ethan Collins. You've done that, have you?
No, he's not there in lane 0.
Oh, he's not there. So no Ethan Collins in lane 0. In 1, Archie McArthur in Clyde. In 2, Matthew Soros from Wigan. In lane 3, Gregor Ross, City of Glasgow. 4, Oscar Chensai, Geary. In 5, Yuan Weir, Dundee City Aquatics. In lane 6, Callum Ferguson, South Lanarkshire. 7, Connor Aspinall, East Lothian. In lane 8, Tom Jeffords, Ren 96. And in lane 9, Daniel Hendry, City of Glasgow. Mix of 13 and 14-year-olds here in the water, and our 1500 medalists for the 13-year age group are all contesting this 800 meters freestyle. In the 1500 for the 14-year-olds, it was Oscar Chensai who won that, and it's Oscar Chensai taking it out in another yellow Geary cap. Him taking it out there in the 800 as well.
Yeah, but he's looking really strong, isn't he? I mean, we're only a quarter of the way through this race, and you're sort of wondering, well, is it already too late for anybody else? 2:13.53. Keep an eye on the leading 13-year-old, and I think that's Matthew Soros, who was the winner in the 1500, if I'm not mistaken. And 2:19 is his split, and that's about 8 seconds faster than Aaron Drake was at the same point.
Yeah, the silver medalist in the 1500 freestyle, Eamon Jaridi, focusing on other things today, so he's not contesting this event. But the bronze medal winner, Callum Ferguson, he's swimming in lane 6. It's interesting, Oscar Chensai's dad well, certainly has been, I believe he still is, the chair of Geary. And I've commented on this before, I think they're a really strong, cohesive club at the moment, working really well together with a strong coaching team. And we're seeing that in their results. They train mostly in the morning, so there's been challenges presented by change of pricing structure in Aberdeenshire Council, but they're working really well there, and they've got a good, strong team, and the management team works really well. That's why I commented on his dad with the coaching team, and you really need that to have a successful swimming programme. Everybody's got to be on the same page about what's to be done, and we've seen Oscar's coach, the head coach from Geary, coming up and asking for pacing lanes and things like that. I wonder if he was preparing Oscar for this 1500. It's working really well regardless, so Oscar still out in front, and his lead 7-8 meters or something. Over in second place, Yuan Weir, Dundee City.
Yeah, keep your eye out on the right-hand side of your screen there, that contest that's going on in lanes 1 and 2, because that potentially is for the 13-year-old gold medal, and you can see they're really close there. Archie McArthur in the white cap representing Inverclyde, Matthew Soros of Wigan Best in lane 2, and there's very little to choose between them at this stage. I can tell you that they were only 28 hundredths apart on that last turn, so that's a good contest going on there. It's certainly a much tighter one than it's going on in the 14-year-old competition.
Yes, I've been focusing on the leader there, forgetting that we've got our 13-year-olds in the water as well. I think they're going to, it's the time that we saw from the first heat. I think that's not going to touch what we're seeing now. So 5:02.41, it was at halfway in heat 1.
Yeah, and Archie and Matthew in the 4:44, 4:45 territory, so quite a bit faster. We'll keep an eye on behind him. So looking at that, I think it's Connor Aspinall is the next one, and that was 4:52. So he's also quite a way inside Aaron Drake's time, and looking good for the bronze medal at this stage. But let's just focus on our leader, Oscar Chensai, for a while. So he's been pacing around the 111s, between 111s and 112s. So he's going to be, what, 9:20-ish, maybe, seems slightly less than that. Entered 9:15, that was the time he did up in Aberdeen at the North District age group. So, in fact, he didn't win that, but I suspect he was up against 15-year-olds there.
Yeah, we do dual age bands up in the North District, so it's 14, 15-year age group. 9:20 was my estimate as well, but I don't know. I mean, I was looking at the splits there. I wonder if he's just moving through the water a little bit faster than he was. He seems to be moving ahead of, in second place, Yuan Weir. And the gap has opened up a bit. You know, I mean, we're looking at over 10 metres now, the difference between the two swimmers. Oscar's last split, 35.69, coming down towards the turn end as he came into the 100-metre mark. But we've really got that battle going on, haven't we, in lanes 1 and 2, between the 13-year-old swimmers, Archie McArthur and Matthew Soros. Nothing to choose between them.
So you can see the lap counter there down, so Oscar could see exactly what was going on there. So just focusing on him now. And as the shot widens out, you can see that contest in lanes 1 and 2. A real tight one. I mean, you can't call that at the moment. Those two battling it out, and they'll be very aware that they are the two 13-year-olds who are going to decide the goal between them. I don't know whether they'll know where Connor Aspinall is, but he is, 15 metres behind them, so they don't need to worry about him.
Yeah, Matthew Soros got the better of Archie MacArthur in the 1500, so Archie desperate, I would imagine, to reverse that order for this 800 metres freestyle. Oscar Chensai, I thought he'd accelerated up, but he's kept his pace very consistently at around and about the 111. It must be very difficult to pace himself. I don't think he's going to get onto that time that he swam at the North Districts, but who knows, he may be saving just a little bit of something for the end. But I think it's going to be a bit of a big ask for him to go down towards that 9:15 that his entry time came from. Still looking good though.
Yeah, it definitely is, and quite a fast stroke rate, and not too much leg action going. You wouldn't expect that probably at this stage. It'll be the bell at this next turn. You can see the size of his lead there. It's a big lead now over lane 5. Yuan Weir. He's entered 9:39, so he could be there or thereabouts. You would think maybe get inside that. Looks like Archie now has just got the edge there in that brief shot that we got of lanes 1 and 2.
Yeah, I was just looking at Oscar as well, thinking the 800 metres freestyle time that he did at the North District age groups was actually an evening swim. So the North District held distance events on the Friday evening. The 800 and the 1500, hoping that swimmers would choose between one or the other. Some did elect to swim both the 1500 and the 800 in the same session. You just can't stop some people, but they were using that as well as they could. But like I say, that was an evening swim, and that might make a bit of a difference for him. But just one length to go now for Oscar Chensai. 8:45.98 off a split of 34, so perhaps coming in just inside the 9:20 mark. It'll be a big ask. He's not going to get close to his entry time, but I mean, inside 9:20 would be a really good achievement for him, and he will win this 800 metres freestyle.
Yeah, very comfortably indeed. So we see him now with 15 metres to go. So let's focus on Oscar as he comes in. Can he duck under the 9:20? Well, it's going to be tight to it. Let's see. No, just over 9:20.43. Now you could see that race for the 13-year-olds has been decided, and it's the white-capped Archie MacArthur in lane 1 bringing it in, as we see Yuan Weir coming in for the silver in the 14s and Gregor Ross in the bronze, and then 9:31.96 for Archie. He improves by 20 seconds or so to take the gold in the 11 to 13 age group. Matthew Soros just behind him. Good PB from him as well, 15-16 seconds in the good battle. I'm sure that gave both of them pick up in the times, and you can see there 9:48 for Connor Aspinall there. Callum Ferguson just confirming is a 14-year-old, so 9:48.37 for Connor Aspinall. That will earn him the bronze in the 11 to 13. So excellent stuff, some good tidy distance freestyle swimming. There's confirmation of the times in that second heat. Oscar, Yuan and Gregor then, the 14-year-old medalists, and Archie, Matthew and Connor in the 11 to 13s. We'll see them get their medals shortly.
Yeah, so those 14-year-olds, they've had all the medals in the 400s to the 1500s, and in fact the 800 coming in the same order as the 400 free earlier on in the week. Archie MacArthur, Matthew Soros and Connor Aspinall, exactly the same medals in the same order.
So we got girls and boys medley relays now. This is 11 to 13, so the 14-year-olds can take the rest of the session off. This is all about the youngsters now. We've got 2 heats coming up for the girls freestyle relay. It's freestyle relay for the girls, medley relay for the boys. There's the lineup for the first heat. Dumfries first and Dundee City Aquatics. They're all A teams. So off they go. In the white cap, Dumfries led off by Amber Hinton. In the blue, it's first with Lisa McNair, and in the familiar pink, it's Dundee City Aquatics with Juliet Kidd. So freestyle relay, as I said, so we each have 100 freestyle to do. And it's fairly well matched here. Just first Lisa McNair with maybe a meter's advantage, 33.13 for her first 50, and coming out of the wall with a bit more of an advantage. And edging into second now is Amber for Dumfries. She's pushing on quite strongly now in the latter part of the first leg here, but I don't think she's going to catch Lisa, so Lisa will hand the lead to her teammate Anna Beetham. Although not too much of a lead as they come in. Let's see what the splits are, 109.07 and 109.70.
Yeah, those first two swimmers pretty much of a muchness from first in Dumfries. Just 0.63 the difference. And I think that we can see that the swimmer from Dumfries, that's Ava Service, is catching now Anna Beetham. Just depends on how much she's saved for that second length, but it's really close. Dundee City Aquatics doing their best to come up on terms. Ksenia Mann, we've seen her swim some strongly already this afternoon, hasn't she? She's been quite busy. But Dumfries now in Ava Service just moving past, although coming out behind. So she's just moving past, not quite as good a turn as the swimmer from Falkirk Integrated Regional had, Anna Beetham. Really strong push off from the wall, streamlined underneath the water and accelerating down towards the finish. Was it because she saved her pace, or was it because she had that better turn? Not so very sure. Over service, she's working hard now towards the finish. A really strong finish to the first length as well. I don't think she's going to catch. It's going to be about the same kind of difference as we saw after the first handover, wasn't it? Or maybe even closer, who knows. That was a lovely shot, wasn't it, overhead?
So 2:21.21 and 2:21.28, so very close as the third swimmers go in, and that is Carly Black for Dumfries, Arla Rowley for first, and Riley McIntosh for Dundee City Aquatics. Riley's had some strong swims as well, so she might well make ground here for Dundee, and it does look like she is. She's got quite a lot of catching up to do, but she's doing, well, a good job on it. Still just Dumfries now. 254.44 against 254.78. You can see there that Riley are 31.3 against the 33s from the other two girls for their first 50. So she is bringing Dundee City Aquatics right back into the mix here. So it's Dumfries first, Dundee City Aquatics. But I think Dundee City Aquatics certainly going past first. Are they going to go past Dumfries as well? Well, they might well do. What a storming third leg here from Riley McIntosh. It's going to be pretty much even Stevens between Dumfries and Dundee City Aquatics as the anchor swimmers go.
Oh, and some really beautiful dives going into the water there. I mean, these young swimmers are having an absolute ball doing these relays. I love these relays in the afternoon just for the youngsters. They don't get them at the British Summer Championships, but Scottish Swimming putting them on for the younger swimmers so that they get a chance at the relays as well, and it's great. I love Imogen Jarrett here in lane number 5. So she's looking good. She's just 12 years old and almost certainly having her first relay swim. I suppose she may have had one in the mixed relay earlier. But she's just getting pipped now by Daisy Kelly, 13-year-old swimmer from Dumfries. And between them, the swimmer from Falkirk Integrated Regional, Ava Steele, another 12-year-old swimmer in the water. What a great time they're having. Dumfries, though, Daisy Kelly looking really good coming in towards the finish. And it's, I'm just looking there for the timekeeper. I can't see the timekeeper coming up. But the camera's there. Certainly looking at Falkirk Integrated Regional, Dumfries and Dundee City coming in towards the end. But Dumfries going to take this first heat. One more heat to go. And there's the timekeeper there. Just going to touch at the end. 4:43.08 it is for the team from Dumfries. Daisy Kelly bringing them home. In second place, Dundee City Aquatics, Imogen Jarrett. And then Ava Steele just going to bring a first home in third place.
Yeah, that was so close at the 300, and then it was blown apart with that final anchor leg swim from Daisy there, just giving an emphatic victory for Dumfries in the end.
Yeah, I think all of these teams have done really well to produce teams relay teams. I'm saying, you know, for good 11 to 13-year-old swimmers able to qualify to compete at these national age group championships. It hasn't been an easy time, and you know, all of these teams should be celebrated really. And here we are on to heat number 2. Here we are, heat number 2.
So we've got City of Glasgow B team in 0, North Ayrshire in 1, City of Glasgow A team in 2, East Lothian B team in 3, East Lothian A team in 4, Aberdeen Performance in 5, Warrender in 6, Highland in 7, Mulgai and Best End in 8, North Lanarkshire in lane 9. Well, in fact, we empty lane in lane 4, so that's something of a surprise that East Lothian A team have dropped out of this one. So I wonder what that's all about. Maybe one of their swimmers has picked up an injury.
Yeah, that's a bit of a surprise. That I suppose that's one of the problems that you have with entering 2 teams, is that you may be running so short that you don't have anybody to step in at the end. But that's a real shame for those girls in the A team who are not swimming that. Well, good luck to the B team.
So opens up the chances, because East Lothian were the winners in the medley relay last night. But let's see how we go here. It's going nicely for Aberdeen Performance. That's Jessica Kirkwood leading for them. Then East Lothian B with Isla Wetton in lane 3. And well, after that is really, really close. Well, it's going to be, I think, Aberdeen Performance with the lead at the 100, 1:05.93. That's around 3 seconds faster than the first heat. And there's the order.
Aberdeen Performance were the runners-up to East Lothian in the medley relay for this age group. And without that A team from East Lothian, they're looking favourites for this one. In lane 3, looking good at the moment. That's City of Glasgow Swim A team. Daisy McInnes in the water for them. Aberdeen Performance looking good, but being caught, I think.
So if East Lothian B team can get close to this, that would be a feather in their caps. It's Eva Kay on the second leg for them. City of Glasgow on their left-hand side, Daisy McInnes. But still leading the way is Aberdeen Performance. Eva Smith, who has had a cracking meet, is holding this advantage pretty well. Towards the bottom of your screen, you've got that blue caps of Highland with Tyler Page-Watson going against Katie Cooper for Warrender. Seeing the swimmers coming in, here comes the Aberdeen Performance swimmer Eva Smith finishing and handing over to Madison Stewart, 2:14.77. Still East Lothian second, just now ahead of City of Glasgow. That's becoming a bit of a battle.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to finish your 100 metres freestyle in the relay with any energy left, but Eva Smith looking very tired towards the end of that 100. But she did hand over a lead, and it's Lucy Hall in the water now for East Lothian. Madison Stewart in the water for University of Aberdeen Performance team, and they're still out in front. East Lothian really got a battle on their hands now with the team from City of Glasgow. Kirsty Sivright in the water. I'm forgetting that the A team are not swimming, so it's Kirsty Sivright in the water for East Lothian swim team, Kira Finlayson for City of Glasgow, and these two battling it out for the bronze and the silver medal. University of Aberdeen Performance, Madison Stewart. Strong leg for her. She's going to hand over to Hannah Yao from the University of Aberdeen Performance in the lead, and with quite a lead. 5 metres the advantage, just own this last takeover, and neck between City of Glasgow swim team and East Lothian. It's Anna Campbell in the water for City of Glasgow and Isla Luke in the water for East Lothian.
So 2 questions here. Can Aberdeen Performance maintain their lead? You would think the answer is yes to that. And who's going to win out on this East Lothian City of Glasgow battle in lanes 2 and 3? Because that is really, really tight. I think they are going faster than Hannah Yao, but I'd be surprised if they can catch her. Let's see, yes, they are faster, East Lothian in particular, but they're still 2 seconds behind as we come down. Just East Lothian, I think, edging back into second spot now, but City of Glasgow have not given this one up. They are continuing to close on Aberdeen Performance. Surely they won't catch them, though. Hannah Yao, I think, will be able to bring this home through past the 15-metre markers. She's still up by around 2 metres, but that is continuing to close. This is a great anchor leg from Isla Luke for East Lothian B, but they won't be able to catch Aberdeen Performance. They take the win. East Lothian B take silver, and City of Glasgow take the bronze. Well, good stuff there. 4:30.50 Aberdeen Performance. Now, emphatic through that race. It got a little bit closer at the end, but it was never really seriously in doubt that they were going to take the win. Great contest between East Lothian and City of Glasgow. East Lothian B team just edging it there. 4:31.98 against 4:32.58. So the B team getting onto the podium, they will be highly pleased about that. We have a disqualification as well. That was North Ayrshire going in lane 1. Of course, we've seen there East Lothian A team, not a starter. So confirmation there. So Aberdeen Performance go for the gold. East Lothian B team for the silver. City of Glasgow A team for the bronze medal. So we now, well, just seen the summary of that, and then we will see our last race of the afternoon, and that will be the boys medley relay for them.
Yeah, very disappointing not to see that team from East Lothian. I wonder what happened there. I'll be interested to find out, see if there's any learning to be done from that, but we'll move on to the boys. And well done to Aberdeen Performance. That was a really good, strong relay. We're moving on to the boys, and what have we got? We've got the medley relay for the boys. So City of Glasgow won the freestyle relay, South Ayrshire were the runners-up, and Warrender in 3rd place. South Ayrshire not competing in the medley.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Warrender with lane 4 in this one, so they'll be looking to reverse that order. The 1-2s from the freestyle relay. So the line-up Inverclyde, City of Glasgow, Warrender, North Lanarkshire, University of Aberdeen Performance, and Highland, all A teams. Nobody's running a second team here. So 6 teams to sort out our final race of the afternoon.
Now, clearly proving a challenge for some of the clubs here to field a full team of at least 4 11 to 13-year-old boys. And we see this around the country. It's the swimming. We're trying to reverse it, but lots and lots of girls in some of the clubs, especially the more remote ones, and not so many boys. And yet it's the boys that we managed to retain so well. Anyway, into the race, we've got in North Lanarkshire, it looks like Ethan Collins. Lovely that they're contesting a competitive team here. Sky Bunchai, University of Aberdeen Performance, but it's Ethan Collins for North Lanarkshire swim team. Clear lead here down the first 50 of the medley. Warrender Bath closer to them. Aaron Drake, was he not just in the 800 free? Probably got worn out legs, I should think.
He was in the first heat. He had 10 whole minutes plus a couple of relays to recover. As they say, they're young and fit. But what a start from North Lanarkshire. This is great stuff from Ethan Collins here. Really fast off the wall at the start there, and well, starting to come back at him is Aaron Drake, so not showing too many ill effects from that 800. He's keeping his Warrender team right in the mix, and just behind them Kyle Connolly for City of Glasgow. So that's going to be the 1-2-3, North Lanarkshire, Warrender, City of Glasgow at the first changeover.
Yeah, so in for North Lanarkshire then we have Riley Griffin on the breaststroke leg. And he's being caught very rapidly by Rory Vick, a 12-year-old swimmer from Warrender Bath and City of Glasgow. Aaron Machin was a medalist, I'm sure, in the breaststroke. So, yeah, he was a bronze medalist in the 100 metres breaststroke. So perhaps the form swimmer on the breaststroke in this race. And very close now at the front, so that early advantage, it's not gone, but it's certainly diminished through this breaststroke leg. Still North Lanarkshire swim team, Riley Griffin in the water for them, and Rory Vick for Warrender Bath. Aaron Machin, another 12-year-old swimmer, swimming for City of Glasgow. And as the form swimmer, the breaststroke bronze medal winner, just coming through now, Aaron Machin. for City of Glasgow, as he's just nosing his way out in front here as we're coming in. We've got 25 metres left of the breaststroke leg, and he's starting to move away now. I think Riley Griffin tiring just a little bit on this breaststroke leg. Warren de Bath swimmer, though, hasn't been able to catch him. Rory Vick still in third place. And City of Glasgow are edging away as we come in towards this second takeover, and it'll be fly going in. Daniel Hendry going in for City of Glasgow to do the fly leg.
Yep, so 2:37.76, a lead of nearly 4 seconds. A big turnaround in the breaststroke, as we so often see, and now it is Daniel Hendry, as you say, Lynn, up against Lewis Maxwell Pulls for Warrender, and just ahead of him Adam Merrick of North Lanarkshire. So still very much these three teams clear of their group of three behind them, who are having their own little race quite tight, out of shot. But, well, can anybody make any ground on City of Glasgow? You can see they've also got the fastest split there, 31.95 in the first half of the butterfly, so it's continuing to look good for them. They won the freestyle relay, and looking now to be in extremely good place to win the medley relay. There we see the fly swimmer Daniel Hendry working down his second length, looking nice and smooth, nice and controlled, and coming up hard to the wall, and off goes the freestyle swimmer Kyle Mossman, the birthday boy, to get the job done.
Yeah, lovely. Daniel Hendry there on the third leg. He's a bronze medalist in the 100 and 200 metres butterfly. So no surprise to see him pulling away there. But what a lovely birthday for Kyle Mossman, bringing the City of Glasgow swim team home for the gold medal, provided there's been no infractions. Dylan Mitchell for Warren de Bath's club, swimming strongly, and it's Ewan Nielsen in the water for North Lanarkshire swim team. So the top three have been the same throughout, just changing of the order, but still in the top three. And it's Dylan Mitchell now in second place for the team from Warren de Bath. No, that's what I'm seeing, just coming down. That's a lovely shot for a head-on stroke. You can see that he's entering the water with hardly any splash at all on the left-hand side, a bit more splash on the right. But this is the team from City of Glasgow coming home for a win in the other relay for the 11 to 13-year-old boys, and Kyle Mossman, birthday boy. Lovely, he'll be up on the top of the podium, subject to confirmation, and the silver medal will go to Warren de Bath, Dylan Mitchell, Ewan Nielsen touching there in third place for the North Lanarkshire swim team, and they'll take the bronze.
Yep, so ignore that time, 4:11.48 on the right of your screen. That 4:55.27 is the time to focus on for City of Glasgow. 4:59 for Warren, 5:04 for North Lanarkshire. Very easy in the relays for somebody to touch the pad accidentally, and I think that's probably what happened there. But, well, that was pretty clear in the end. In fact, for most of the race, to be honest, it was pretty clear.
Yeah, so all three of those teams are improving on their entry times. Warren de Bath had been the fastest entry in. 5:05.65 was the entry time for the City of Glasgow swim team, and that entry time made up by adding together all of the individual 100-metre times. So that's perhaps a reflection of how much improvement there has been in that team, but all of the teams in that top three improving their entry time.
Yeah, nicely done. So that completes our swimming, but we have presentations to give you here. We're starting with the 800 freestyle. That will be first up. So that we will see shortly. I'm just seeing whether the swimmers look like they're ready to come. So as soon as the swimmers there have cleared the podium area, I'm sure we'll get our medalists up. Some of them just taking a little while, but they're away from the immediate podium area, so we should be good to go, I would have thought here. And we'll wait for the swimmers to make their appearance. There they are, all lined up, ready to go. Yeah, he says, yeah. Look at me, I'm the best from Wigan Best. So silver medalist, that is, that we were looking at there. But here they all come, the 6 swimmers from the 800 freestyle.
Yes, and it looks like the medals are going to be presented by the North District Swimming Convener and member of Swimming Committee, Claire Sutherland, who is the head coach in West Hill for the South Aberdeenshire team.
So the bronze medalist then, Connor Aspinall of East Lothian in the 11 to 13 age group. And in the 14-year-old age group, City of Glasgow's Gregor Ross. The silver medalists coming up now, 11 to 13, Wigan Best, Matthew Soros. And in the 14-year-old age group, Dundee City Aquatic swimmer Yuan Weir. What a scrap it was in that 11 to 13 age group, but just winning through to make a distance double. It is the Inverglide swimmer Archie Mcdonald, so he gets the gold. And in the 14-year-olds, completely dominant in his age group, Oscar Chensai of Geary. Photo time. And away they go. So they'll, I imagine, whoops, we want a Geary photo and various others as well. You can see Yuan, I think, part of the Strathallan group of swimmers. Some great Strathallan swimmers there, either swim for Perth or for Dundee. Yuan choosing to swim for Dundee. So they get their photos now. Here are the relay swimmers. So the girls up first, freestyle relay. So they're making their way up. Is it Claire again doing the presentations? No, I think it's Tom Mills, is it? Our meet referee.
Yeah, so Tom Mills, meet referee, presenting the medals to the bronze medal winning team. That's the team from City of Glasgow: Gina Wren, Daisy McInnes, Kira Finlayson and Anna Campbell. And the silver medal winning team are the team from East Lothian, the East Lothian B team. And the medal winners are Isla Wetton, Eva Kay, Kirsty Seabright and Isla Luke.
So I know Isla Wetton has been on the podium before, but I think the fact that the B team got this chance has given a first medal opportunities for some of those girls.
Yeah, great to see, and I'm sure they're delighted to be on the podium there. The winning team and our Scottish national age group champions in the 11 to 13 year freestyle relay is the team from Aberdeen Performance: Jessica Kirkwood, Eva Smith, Madison Stewart and Hannah Yao. Well done to them.
So one more presentation to go, the boys medley relay. One more photo before you leave us. Oh, we've got the funky East Lothian attitudes again. Here are the boys, more happy with their performances. City of Glasgow look pretty pleased with themselves. So here they come to the podium. Nice to see North Lanarkshire. It's, I think, a new team onto the podium for this one. The bronze medalists in that nice lighter blue. So the medals will go to Ethan Collins, Riley Griffin, Adam Merrick, and Yuan Nielsen. The silver medalist are Warren de Baths, Aaron Drake, Rory Vick, Lewis Maxwell Pauls, and Dylan Mitchell. And the City of Glasgow are gold medalists and National Age Group champions. And City of Glasgow team Kyle Connolly, Aaron Machin, Daniel Hendry, and Kyle Mossman. So our final presentation, our final photographs. Can you believe it? We've only got one more session to go, Lynn.
Yeah, and what an exciting session it's going to be. Lots of things determined during that final session, as well as the individual champions. We'll also be joined by Ali White, looking forward to that. So Ali White, our Director of Aquatics here at Scottish Swimming. And we have other awards to do as well, don't we? So we've got the awards for the top 16-year-old and under swimmers. So that's the best FINA performance. And also the top team.
Yeah, that's all going to be exciting. So 5:10, don't be late. We'll see you then. But for now, a very good afternoon to you.